DAB, online and on your smart speaker. TalkSport.
Good evening. With your sport and news update, I'm Steve Forbes. Under an hour to go until this friendly meeting between England and Wales. Ollie Watkins will lead the line in Harry Kane's absence tonight, while Declan Rice will skip at the side. Craig Bellamy's promised to press England. Mark Gay's taking nothing for granted.
I think since the new manager's come in, he's given them a real identity, and so we're expecting a tough game, a really organised team with a lot of creativity. So it's going to be a really difficult game, but one that we're relishing and hoping to win.
Sport.
Stay tuned, we've got live commentary from Wembley, kickoffs at 7:45. Meanwhile, Steve Clarke will take charge of a joint record 71st game as Scotland manager when they face Greece in World Cup qualifying this evening, tying level with the legendary Craig Brown.
Been lucky enough to work with a really good, consistent squad of players who have done ever so well for me. All my coaches have helped me to get to this stage is really nice, but at the moment my focus is only on qualifying for the World Cup next year.
Elsewhere today, Saudi billionaire Turki Al Sheikh has claimed that Man United are in advanced stages of a deal with a new investor. We understand the investor he referenced is a group from the UAE, but that the post has taken United sources by surprise. Tottenham's owners have announced a further £100 million investment into the club, and Harry Maguire's in talks with Manchester United over a one-year extension to his contract. His current deal runs out in the summer. A new deal would involve a reduced salary.
TalkSport News.
Donald Trump says he thinks there'll be lasting peace in the Middle East after Hamas and Israel agreed the first phase of a US proposed deal, and 5 water companies have had requests approved to hike prices by more than first agreed.
TalkSport weather. With QuickFit, get a free vehicle safety check at all of our 600 centres nationwide to keep you safe on the road. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
Clouds sinking south into central areas through the evening and overnight with some light rain or drizzle, otherwise largely dry with clear spells.
Kickoff. Online, on YouTube, on the TalkSport app. Kickoff live.
The adrenaline-charged Weeknight Football Academy.
Stamina, celebrity, lightspeed weeknight football.
Athletic accomplishment meets peerless professionalism and pride. Superstar football.
Kickoff live on TalkSport.
This is TalkSport and this is Wembley. England on the brink of World Cup qualification. Wales with a massive qualifier against Belgium in Cardiff on Monday night. Strange time to get together for a friendly. But then England-Wales is never a friendly.
All curve on that, and he's headed in off the inside of the post. Harry Kane attacking it. Stoops, conquers, and England lead.
The delivery. Moore nods it down and gets it in at the second attempt. Kiefer Moore fires it home.
Wales, England.
The rivalry. It's not with me. Our biggest rivals are ourselves.
This is more about last camp and what we started to build.
Whatever England do is monitored so closely.
There are some big players that are not in the squad that are playing well enough to get themselves into the squad.
Unbelievable! A Jude Bellingham overhead kick.
Is he one of the best players in the world in midfield? Yes. This is a team sport. We have to find solutions.
All the players are playing so well. As I said, deserve to be here, and giving the manager that headache to select a squad.
Against intensity, England will certainly offer that. It allows us to keep improving.
And he scores brilliantly! Harry Wilson again!
Wembley Stadium against one of the top nations in the world. I don't know what that is, apart from being excited.
Good evening, I'm Adrian Durham, live at Wembley, proud to be on England duty for the world's biggest sports radio station. It is TalkSport, and if you're listening in Wales, croeso I Wembley. We've got former England captain Stuart Pearce with us on TalkSport as always, and so happy to have Welsh international Tom Lockyer with us for the evening as well. We'll speak to both of those very shortly, but time now to look at the latest football action with Ladbrokes.
The big preview on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
And let's get the all-important team news from Wembley. Here's your England commentator on TalkSport, Jim Proudfoot.
Well, if Thomas Tuchel was so enamoured of the performance in Belgrade that he kept changes to that squad to an absolute minimum, then it stands to reason that he would name as many of the starting 11 tonight as he could. So, this evening's 4 changes are all injury enforced. James and Livramento are missing from the back line, so there's a slight reshuffle. Konsa comes across to right back. Stones returns to centre-half to play his first international under Tuchel, while Spence makes his full debut at left-back. Madueke is placed on the right wings, taken by the fit against Saka, and with no chances being taken over Kane's fitness ahead of the trip to Riga, it is Watkins who leads the line to start his first match since Tuchel took charge. As for Craig Bellamy, well, he's named a strong Wales team as they make 7 changes to the side that lost to Canada last month. Nico Williams wins his 50th cap. He swaps flanks to accommodate the return of Jay De Silva, who won 13 caps for England's under-21s. Roden returns at centre-half, Ampadu in midfield, and Kiefer Moore, who's scored in his last 2 internationals, is back to lead the line. So England line up: Pickford in goal, Concert, Stones, Gahey and Spence, Anderson anchoring the midfield in front of them, then Saka, Rice, Rodgers and Gordon, and Ollie Watkins leading the line. Carl Darlow in goal for Wales, Williams, Roden, Ben Davies and De Silva the back 4. Ampadu has Wilson and Cullen ahead of him in midfield, with Johnson and Brooks wide and Kiefer Moore up front. And tonight's referee is Urs Schneider from Switzerland, who officiated Newcastle's Champions League win in Belgium last week.
Jim, thanks very much. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. 18 plus, BeGambleAware.org.
The big preview on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus, GambleAware.org.
And with Jim on commentary, it is the former England captain Stuart Pearce. England-Wales. Stuart, get your juices flowing.
Fantastically. Evening aid, and if you're in Wales, Yaki Da. Okay, 2 can play at that game, by the way.
Well, let's speak to somebody who's fluent in Welsh, so I hear. Wales international Tom Lockyer, how are you doing? Great to have you with us.
Oh, thanks for having me. Really looking forward to this one tonight. I think it'll be very entertaining.
That's English. No Welsh?
No Welsh, no. I know. I don't think you've got enough Welsh listeners, so we'll keep English.
Well, we'll try and get a few more. But listen, that England team, Stuart Pearce, I'm going to throw a stat at you. John Stones, his first cap under Thomas Tuchel. It's about time, isn't it?
It certainly is. As I say, it's only injury that's kept him away from that, it's fair to say. I like the look of the team. Last month as well, I looked at it and the balance was good. I'm looking at this team and I think the balance is right again. We got 2 wide players that can go past people, that have got energy and pace, which I like. Anderson's got a run out as that holder. We got Declan further up the pitch again. I really like the balance of this team. Yeah,
I know you were positive about the Andorra game despite defeat. Craig Bellamy actually said he was positive for England about that game. He thought it was a positive performance and a result. But the Serbia game was something else, wasn't it? In the absence of Harry Kane, a lot is missing from the England team. Thomas Tuchel's talked about finding solutions. Has he found the solutions with the 11 that he's got there? Because Harry's always going to be a big miss with the amount of goals he scores.
It's the answer to me is not has he found a solution with the 11. I think there's a fair bit of pressure on Ollie Watkins, and I don't like to heap pressure on players, but he's played spasmodically over time and he's done okay on occasion and not so well on other occasions, but I'm not sure we're convinced that there is somebody out there that can play Harry's role and play it as well as he can. I know that's an obvious statement, but we need to find someone. It's a big night for Ollie Watkins tonight, I believe.
Big chance. When he had a big chance before against the Netherlands, he came on in that semi-final, scored a brilliant winning goal, so he has that experience to him. You've worked with Declan Rice really closely, Stuart. No surprise to see him captain tonight. He's taken his game to new levels, isn't he?
He certainly has. As I say, I think he's waiting to take over from Harry Kane, the captaincy. I think he'll flourish if you give him the captaincy of his country. And he's just an outstanding player, to be fair. He's arguably, aside from Harry Kane, and I would even include Harry Kane in this statement, I think he's the first name on England's sheet. I really do. He's just an incredible individual to work with, an unselfish individual, and a very talented one at that. And he's playing further up the pitch now for England, which I'm looking forward to seeing again.
Tom, from a Welsh point of view, it's got to be a positive, isn't it? Not playing against Harry Kane.
Yes and no. I think for this game, yes, because it gives you a better chance of getting something from the game. However, I think in the long run, no, because you want to come up against the best, and this is almost not a free hit because it is a friendly, but it's almost a learning curve where you could almost go, well, this is what would happen if we do this against England in the future, but without Harry Kane there, it's going to look completely different. And I agree with Stuart. I think it's a big night for Ollie Watkins. With the amount of strength and depth England have, I think centre forward probably is the weakest area for them.
And I know you're training with the club. I think we could say you're training with Bristol Rovers, and will be back at some point playing professional football, hopefully very, very soon. If you were in that Wales 11 tonight at centre half, and you saw their team sheet come through with no Harry Kane, would you think, hang on, we can actually win this, or would it not be that in the Wales dressing room?
No, I think. I don't think you'd look at it like that. I think because you're going into the game trying to implement what you want to do, and whether that's against Harry Kane or Ollie Watkins, they're both going to pose threats. And let's have it right, Ollie Watkins is no mug in front of goals. So yeah, it'll be a tough evening for Wales. I don't think it'll give them any more confidence. I think Wales are coming here to implement their game plan and see how well they can do against a very, very good team.
Tom, take a listen to this. Let's get a feel for how the game will play out tonight here at Wembley, England against Wales. We'll get Tuchel's response in a moment, but first, here's the Wales manager, Craig Bellamy.
I honestly believe if you play this England team, you defend deep, you'll die a slow death. And I'm not into that. I'm like, please put me up against the wall and end it now. So, yeah, don't put me in that position.
Yeah, even with him not saying it, we are very well aware that they will try to implement their style. They play very aggressively. They play with a lot of courage. It's a very well-drilled team, a very well-coached team. So they play with a lot of courage. They play high and up the pitch. They try to put a lot of pressure on opponents' teams. Best example was again in Belgium, where they really dominated the ball, had more ball possession, created a lot of chances, and lost very, very unlucky in the last minute. So this is what they do to teams. If you're not well prepared, if you don't match their effort, if you don't match their hunger, you will suffer a lot. So we don't want this. So we're up for an intense match.
Well, if you're not familiar with Wales' game in Belgium, they lost 4-3, but it doesn't really tell the story. They were 3 down in half an hour in Brussels in the qualifier, levelled it up to 3-3, but conceded late on. They left Kevin De Bruyne unmarked in the 6-yard box on the 87th minute. Sorba Thomas scored a great goal, Tom Lockyer, in that game. It was from the keeper. I think there were 4 more passes, and then he slots it into the back of the net. It's a brilliant Wales goal. Does that goal kind of sum up how Craig Bellamy wants them to play? They won't be sitting in a deep block, we know that.
No, that game sums it up perfectly, because the way Craig Bellamy wants to play on the front foot, Thomas Tuchel said they're going to be high up the pitch. It does leave you exposed if you get it wrong. This England team tonight, and like Belgium were on the day, are incredible footballers who are so comfortable on the ball that a little bit of pressure, and if you're a little bit late to apply that pressure, they can easily play around it, and it'll leave you exposed at the back. So they have to get it perfect, and if you play in this style against an England side, you almost have to have a perfect game to get something from the game.
But the fact is, Wales have got Belgium coming up in Cardiff. It's a crucial qualifier. It's a huge game. He has gone strong with the lineup, but that won't be the 90-minute lineup.
No, I think you're spot on there. I think you'll see it as a 60, maybe even a 75-minute game, and then look to make changes. You know, you've got boys like Ben Davies, who hasn't even played a game in the Premier League this season. So yeah, it's a bit of a mad one, but he is Wales. So without him, you know, you don't know who's going to come in there. No, I am back fit now, but it's a little bit too soon for me.
And you're working for us tonight as well. So just tell us a little bit more, because Brooks, most of our listeners will know about. Wilson as well, Premier League players. Brennan Johnson, of course, got the winner in the Europa League final. And Kiefer Moore, we've seen at various clubs down the years, and we know he could be a handful. In terms of Liam Cullen, they call him the Kilgetty Messi. Is he actually that good?
Yeah, he's great, and I think under Craig Bellamy you're probably seeing the best of him, because Craig Bellamy likes to play on the front foot, high pressure, and Liam's full of energy. He'll go pressing and he'll work his socks off for the team, and that's exactly what Craig Bellamy wants. As soon as he came in, he said to all the lads, sat down in the first meeting and said, if you don't want to run, this isn't the team for you. And Liam Cullen is the epitome of that. He'll put the team before himself, and as a striker that's quite hard to do. And he is a striker, but under Craig Bellamy he's playing more as a 10 and a centre midfielder just because of his legs. So it's someone who's really thriving under Craig Bellamy.
The fact that he's not a Premier League player, he's a Championship player, does that sort of count against him in a way? Does that mean he is inferior, or does he raise his game for something like this, for Wales internationals?
No, I don't think so. I think if you look at Wales over the years, playing Championship is probably where the mainstay of the bulk of the Welsh team comes from, is the Championship. So that doesn't change. Obviously you have the Premier League players who come in, and then once in a generation, people like Gareth Bale who can actually just transform anything they touch. So it's a big night for him. It's a big stage. He's only played here once before, and that was a playoff final that he lost. So I spoke to him in the week, and he said he's looking to right the wrongs of that.
And is he Messi? Is that
same height as Messi?
Can't wait to see him play. It should be very interesting just to see where he floats around and the exact positions he takes up, because I always thought he was a striker, and then you've been telling me he's going to be midfield and maybe floating around. So we'll see what happens tonight. England-Wales are friendly. They're out on the pitch warming up as the stadium fills up. There's another very important game taking place tonight as Scotland hosts Greece in a World Cup qualifier. This one. Watch it for TalkSport. It's Paul Mitchell.
Evening, Adrian. Scotland have the chance tonight to put Greece under severe pressure. A Scottish win would likely make it a two-horse race between the Scots and Denmark for the automatic qualification place. Steve Clarke makes 3 changes from the 11 that started in Hungary against Belarus. Scott McKenna, Billy Gilmore and Max Johnson give way to Aaron Hickey, Grant Hanley and Ryan Christie. Scotland will have gun and goal the back four of Hickey, Suter, Hanley and Robertson. The midfield trio of McTominay, Ferguson and McGinn. Ben Gannon, Doak, Shea Adams and Ryan Christie are the 3 up front. Greece were rumbled 3-0 at home against Denmark. They keep the same goalkeeper and back four. No Konstantinos Karetsas, he's been unwell. The 17-year-old at least makes the bench. Greece tonight, Belarus Sunday, 6 points at stake. It's not hyperbole to say this. Scotland need all 6.
They do. We'll keep you updated with that on TalkSport. Scotland against Greece in a crucial qualifier. You're listening to Kickoff on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. 18 plus. Be gambleaware.org. And next up, we'll talk about somebody who's not even here tonight, Jude Bellingham.
Kickoff on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
September is coming, so it's time to get ready to change the face of men's health. Make sure TalkSport is part of your morning routine as the Superstar Breakfast brings you a straight-to-the-point, razor-sharp roundup of all the morning's biggest headlines, all delivered in the time it takes to have a shave. Get ready with Movember, every morning from 6 on the Superstar Breakfast on TalkSport. The moustache is calling! Grow a mo, raise funds, save lives. Sign up now at Movember.com.
Lunch is ready.
We need more chairs.
It takes all the aunties, the new guy next door, every chair in the house, and 2 from the shed, and a friendly plumber provided by Allianz Home Insurance, stopping a mini flood in the kitchen for Mum to feel it's a proper houseful for Sunday lunch. All the home experts you need to protect all the things you care about. Search Allianz Home Insurance. Allianz, one of the world's largest insurers. To verify, visit allianz.co.uk/verify. Dependent on add-ons.
Did you know you can shop the brand new iPhone 17 Pro at Very?
Buy now with up to 12 months to pay with VeryPay, with VeryPay, pay.
With centre stage front camera for smarter group selfies. Get up to 12 months to pay when you shop with VeryPay. Plus, there's nothing to pay at checkout. Search VeryPay today. Very. Let's make it sparkle. VeryPay credit provided subject to status by Shop Direct Finance Company Limited. 18 plus representative, 44.9% APR variable.
At Aldi, we're delighted to tell you that we've come out on top again! Yes, we've won Which Cheapest Supermarket for September, beating our competitors, even with their loyalty card prices. Just goes to show you're onto a winner when you shop at Aldi. Visit aldi.co.uk/awards for more.
Searching for a holiday? Here's an idea. Don't type cheap flights to wherever into your browser. You know you do it. Search Kayak instead. Let us do the finding for you. All the great flight deals from hundreds of travel sites, all in one place. Go on, do it! Do it! Listen to the waves. They're calling your name. Not literally, obviously, unless your name is Kayak. Kayak! You're thinking about it, aren't you? Search Kayak and go see for yourself.
And the 2025 Online Casino of the Year award goes to BetMGM.
That's how we do it in Vegas, baby. Sign up now to BetMGM Casino, play £10 and get 200 free spins. Why would you play anywhere else? BetMGM. If it ain't us, it ain't Vegas.
Minimum £10 spent. New customers only. Wagering requirements and conditions apply. Awarded at EMEA Global Gaming Awards. 18+. Please gamble responsibly.
Hawksby and Jacobs on your side every weekday afternoon from 1 on TalkSport with Toolstation. Delivering cutting-edge comment, a catalogue of riveting guests, and drilled-down dialogue to power up your lunchtime. Plus, breaking news, views, and loads of laughs. Don't miss the nation's favourite sporting lunch with the legendary Hawksby and Jacobs every weekday afternoon from 1 on TalkSport with Toolstation. Next stop, Toolstation.
It's the most prestigious game of the season.
It's an absolute cracker.
The 2025 Super League Grand Final. Hull Kingston Rovers versus Wigan Warriors.
It is game on.
Get all the rock and roll build-up from 5.
With tough tackling full match commentary from 6.
This Saturday afternoon.
Live on TalkSport.
Not a bad view in the house here at Wembley as England prepare to take on Wales in a friendly tonight. Let me tell you about England qualifying. Serbia, Albania, Saturday night in England's group. If Serbia don't win that, then an England victory in Latvia live on TalkSport Tuesday night will guarantee top spot in the group and qualification for the World Cup next summer. For Wales, Belgium, North Macedonia tomorrow night in Ghent. That's in Wales qualifying Group J. North Macedonia played 5, top of the group with 11 points. Belgium second, played 4, 10 points. Wales played 5, 10 points. Wales, Belgium in Cardiff Monday night. Needs no introduction. Next month, Wales go to Liechtenstein, who've lost all 5, and then host North Macedonia, which could be gigantic, although Wales do have the fallback of a Nations League playoff place. Right, let's look ahead to tonight's football. Time now to get an odds update with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
And Cal Gildart from Ladbrokes is with us. Listen, Wembley's going to be full. It's a full house. It'll be noisy. It's a rivalry. England, Wales, and both sides, Cal, have gone strong tonight.
Yeah, they have. Good evening, Adrian. Sorry. And as is expected, though, England are huge favourites at 5-1 on. They've actually shortened since the team. So our traders obviously fancying England as a stronger outfit there. The draw's 11-2, and you'll get as much as 12-1 on a Wales win. Really would be interesting to know what those odds would be had England not been so emphatic against Serbia given the 3-1 loss to Senegal. Wales, to repeat that, is 55-1 by the way. But England were emphatic, so a repeat 5-0 scoreline tonight is actually as short as 14-1. You know, that result meant that Thomas Tuchel's side are pretty much cruising to the World Cup, aren't they? Whereas Wales have a huge game against Belgium on Monday. So as much as they'll love to stick one in England, I think that they'll almost certainly be looking ahead to that. They've also lost each of the past 7 against England and not scored in the past 3 friendlies. So if I'm looking at a bet builder, both teams not to score has to feature. And just doubling that with England to win both half gets you a decent looking 3-1. Chuck in Anthony Gordon to score any time, and that pays out 6-1 with Ladbrokes.
Well, no Kane, so maybe on pens we shall see, but your odds have just motivated Wales, that's for sure. What about Scotland-Greece in the qualifier tonight? What about that one?
Yeah, it's tight at the top in Group C, and it's reflected in the odds for this one. Both Scotland and Greece are 17-10 tonight, while the draw is a little over 2-1. I'm going to avoid sitting on the fence, though, for my best bets. You know, after a real stinker of a run, it was 1 win in 16 before it ended last November with the win against Croatia. Scotland have won 4 of the past 7, and in which they also got that decent draw against Denmark. One of those games was a 3-0 loss to Greece. I mean, it's 18-1 for a repeat tonight, but I don't think that's going to happen. Perhaps I'm influenced by being so close to the anniversary of that famous win over France in 2006, you know, Gary Caldwell and all that. I fancy Scotland, and when they win they tend to keep a clean sheet. That's 100-30 tonight, but with the 1-0 win in France in mind, half-time draw and full-time Scotland's 5-1. If you fancy John McGinn to continue his goal-scoring form, he's 4-1 any time on his own, but a bet builder of half-time draw full-time Scotland and McGinn finding the net pays 23-1.
Decent. Cal, thank you very much. That was a look at the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18+. Be gambleaware.org.
Odds Update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
England-Wales kicks off in around about 20 minutes. It's live on TalkSport tonight. Now, he's not even playing, but let's talk about this man.
Shaw firing it in. Bellingham! 1-0 England!
That's a big story, isn't it? The fact that there is no Jude Bellingham in the squad.
All the players are playing so well. Yeah, giving that the manager that headache to select a squad.
I know everyone's talking about this injury, but you still involve him.
If he smiles, he wins everyone. But sometimes you see the rage, you see the hunger and the rage and the fire, and it comes out in a way that can be like a bit repulsive.
Unbelievable! A Jude Bellingham overhead kick!
Him not being in the England team in the World Cup gives them a lesser chance of winning it.
Because Jude is just finding his rhythm. He hasn't completed one match over 90 minutes. He has only started one match.
There's people out there saying that we might be a better side without Jude Bellingham. Give your head a wobble.
We have to focus on the team. It's a team that's going to win tournaments. I think it's never going to be about individuals, and the moment we start making it about individuals is when we've got a problem.
Stuart Pearce, former England captain. This is very, very interesting. Jude is back. He's playing. And even though Thomas Tuchel pointed out he's not, and these were his words, he has not fully gathered his rhythm. He hasn't completed 90 minutes. He only started one match. Real Madrid lost that one to Atletico Madrid 5-2. Tuchel actually pointed out that Jude Bellingham wanted to be called up. He said he just lacks rhythm. But he also added this: Jude is a very special player. For special players, there can always be special rules. He always deserves to be in camp. Are we a better team with Jude in it? Yes, he said. So where does Jude Bellingham stand? And do you expect him to go to the World Cup? And if he does, do you expect him to be in the team at the World Cup?
I expect him to go to the World Cup without a doubt. All things being equal, yes, I expect him to be in the team. I think these markers in time are not a bad thing for a manager to put down. I think what Thomas has done there, listened to his word, he's made a statement by not picking him. The easy option, and then it crushes every story, was I'm not sure he's fully fit, but we're going to have him in and amongst us anyway. That sends a message out that it's okay to turn up when you're not fully fit. I don't think that's a good message. Not at England level, it isn't. At club level, it is. And I just applaud it, really. I think he's dealt with it in a brilliant way, and the only way we're going to be successful come a major tournament is if we go in as a united team. End of.
From the outside, Tom Lockyer, what do you make of this Jude Bellingham situation, everything Thomas Tuchel said?
I do agree with Stuart to some degree. That being said, you always make exceptions for your better players, so yeah, I don't know. This camp, they can certainly get away without him. Like, for me, you know, they don't need him for these two games. It would be interesting to see if it was a real crunch game and they needed to win, whether he would have been called up under these circumstances. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he would have.
Tom, do you see a message that's been sent out there by Thomas Tuchel in regard to, we hear rumours that, you know, the odd rumour about Jude, let's say, that he's not really a team player, as the personality on the pitch at times looks a hint of selfish. Now, Faye's been around the camp closer than we are, and she'll crush statements like that. She'll say, no, that isn't the case. But do you think that there is half a statement there that the manager's sent out a message to him?
Yeah, there is, absolutely, and you can see it. You wouldn't have, I don't think you have Gordon saying things like it's all about the team if that statement hasn't been delivered, because you know what it's like as players. You want the best players playing because it gives you the best chance to win. So for me, it just makes sense to have him in the squad. But you know, if there is any sort of, I don't know, say problems in camp, I know you say maybe not, but you know, these rumours, no smoke without fire. So yeah, if that is the case, then I can certainly see it as a statement, and we may not be getting the full picture from outside the camp, but inside the camp, then it would be a big statement to send out.
All about the team. It's really interesting, that, and it helps us to move on to the next point. Now, speaking to our reporter Angelina Kelly, Thomas Tuchel was asked about Steven Gerrard's comments on Rio Ferdinand's podcast suggesting that ego affected the golden generation's chances of winning something. Tuchel says it shows how important the environment in the squad is to any future success.
I hear this a lot, and it was just another proof that we're on the right way to build a strong team that first of all plays as a team, acts as a team, and shows the team spirit that everyone also expects. So I think we made a huge step in the right direction in last camp, and we want to keep on going. That does not mean that the players we didn't select cannot buy into this team spirit, but it was just unfortunate that they were not there in the last camp, and we sticked mainly to the same group. But what a waste of opportunity with this golden generation. People tell me always the same thing, like players who made it happen and reached a big prize in international football just tell me that the group was so good together that they could have stayed 8 weeks or 10 weeks in a tournament, and they loved every minute of it. And the teams who don't succeed tell also the same story, that they didn't really enjoy it, that the group was not together. And that's what we are trying. We're trying to build a team. We're trying to build a strong team that is able to go all the way.
Interesting from Thomas Tuchel. Teamwork, team spirit was on the highest level. That's why they tried to keep the same camp as last time. And Tom Lockyer, you know all about this, with Wales having the hashtag Together Stronger. And that under that banner, Wales started qualifying for tournaments again. So the team ethic means something.
Yeah, because as a nation, you can't just rely on individuals to get you places when you don't have the individuals to do that. So we needed to find something different, and that was coming together, and that Together Stronger motto has now been adopted by many in football, because ultimately you do have a better chance of success when you are together. And to hear Thomas Tuchel keep saying about the team and the team and the team, it does make me think whether Stuart's right about the whispers coming out of about Jude.
How are we going to settle this between you two?
Somewhere between us is where the truth lies. It's fair to say.
Well, if you think about it as well, he also mentioned Thomas Tuchel, other players, so not just Bellingham. Talked about Foden not being in this camp. He said he's now back to his form, deciding games for Manchester City. Grealish, he said, is nearly back to the best version of himself. He also mentioned Adam Wharton, Curtis Jones, Trevor Chalobah. He mentioned Cole Palmer, who's out injured as well, Stuart. So it wasn't just about Jude Bellingham, but it felt like a big statement. And in fact, at the start of his announcement of his squad, he did make a big statement, which he never does. He made a statement rather than just take questions, made a statement coming out with all of that. So clearly he wanted to give out a big message, not just to us as England fans and media, but also to those players who've been left out.
Yeah, and I think there's a great lesson here. Top managers, which he is a top manager in world football, they get paid to make big decisions and word things in a manner that send messages out, but probably don't create a gallows for A, the player, or B, himself somewhere down the line. What he's done, he's turned around and said the team's everything, which we all buy into. We see that. Since Gareth come in 2016, the team on the pitch and behind the scenes was the strength of England. That's why they got to finals. He's bought into that. He's also turned round and he's backed Bellingham as well, on the back of leaving him out. It's clever management. It's good management. He's got no comebacks as a manager, so he's on a win-win. So I think it's a perfect statement from him as a manager.
But does he need to have not necessarily a big win, but a convincing win here to back that up?
No, I don't think he does. He's going to want to have a good performance and a victory in this game to build on what happened in the last one. But none of those roads that lead back to Bellingham being here or not being here in my eyes.
Interesting. You may have your views on it when we're done at 10. The Sports Bar will be taking your calls as well as getting all the reaction from here at Wembley. Usual number if you want to have your say on the England game tonight, 03717223344. We'll learn a bit more about Craig Bellamy very shortly. Kickoff is at 7:45 and you're listening to Kickoff on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. 18 plus, BeatGambleAware.org.
Kickoff on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. 18 plus, GambleAware.org.
The latest breaking sports news delivered with the laser-like accuracy of Michael Van Gerwen. And hear passionate opinions debated with the confident dexterity of Virgil van Dijk.
The Liverpool fans celebrate.
Answer on the radio show that's got the nation's sports fans buzzing like a Van de Graaff generator. Early breakfast. Weekday mornings from 5 on TalkSport with Adrian Flux Van Insurance. Insurance for the individual. Search Adrian Flux Van Insurance to find out more.
For a utility tool and a deal that sticks, get 3 tubes of Hippo Pro 3 for the price of 2. An adhesive, sealant and filler, all in 1 tube. It cures underwater, touch dries in just 12 minutes, sticks to virtually anything, and is now available with a 3 for 2 offer. That's serious sticking power at a seriously good price. Grab yours today at your local merchant, because with Hippo Pro 3, you can stick it good.
Ah, the satisfaction of a perfectly installed soft close drawer. The joy of your first hot shower since the boiler was fixed. And that's the sound of another glowing customer review, because Checkatrade approved tradespeople score on average 9 out of 10. From plumbing to roofing to electrics, download the app. Checkatrade, a job done right.
Checkatrade.com.
9 out of 10 customer rating based on average reviews in 2024.
Fly with the fry. Chicken is here. The 20 hot wings bucket. 20 succulent hot wings for $7.99. Come under our wings and feel the flavour saviour. Sensation awaits. Get the deal. Believe in chicken. KFC. Available till 12th of October 2025. Subject to availability. Participating restaurants only. Not available on delivery. See website for full T's and C's.
Time's running out on your old assumptions, Brian.
But Argos is just for toys, right? Wrong. Sean Connie.
This Samsung Galaxy Watch tracks steps, sleep and heart rate.
Yours is through the roof, Brian. There is more to Argos.
Get the latest tech and more on the Argos app today. Subject to availability in selected stores and argos.co.uk.
And now, the weather.
Outside, gloomy skies, a persistent drizzle, and a chilly wind blowing from the west, north, east, and south. But inside, temperatures of toasty warm with a high chance of comfy cushions, soft lighting, and a smattering of snuggly throws. Come home to cozy. Discover textiles and lighting at your local IKEA now. IKEA, the wonderful every day.
What a kind of football fan you are, TalkSport and the Coral Daily Download are here for it to celebrate the fans every day. Whether you're a front row seater or a prawn sandwich eater, a half and half scarf wearer or a lifelong faithful torchbearer, a retro shirt for every game or bare-chested, even in the rain. For all the latest news, reaction and odds this season, don't miss the Coral Daily Download. Every morning from 6 on TalkSport with Coral. We're here for the fans. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Somewhere in an alpine village near Ipswich,
Alan Brazil is a mountain man host.
Lots of throttle, zero twaddle,
odelay hee-hoo. Breakfast the time that he likes to host most.
have a body and a tinny odelo.
3 million a year, he's the man who's paid most.
Bags of money, very yummy.
Yodelay hee-hoo.
Every morning from 6, it's a sporting spit roast. Conversation with the nation, odelo.
Join TalkSport's very own lonely goat herd, Alan Brazil, off the piste and back on the superstar breakfast tomorrow morning from 6 on TalkSport.
Yodelay hee-hoo.
The UK's #1 football experience.
Kick-off live on TalkSport.
Well, this Sunday, Crystal Palace co-owner chairman Steve Parish will be live in the studio on TalkSport on Sunday edition with Sean Custis and Henry Winter discussing the Mark Gay U-turn, the future of England hopeful Adam Wharton, and of course what happened with Palace, UEFA and the Europa League. Eagles chairman Steve Parish live on Sunday edition on TalkSport from 10 a.m. this weekend. And actually last Sunday, our England correspondent Faye Carruthers was hosting with Henry Winter. Had a brilliant chat about the Bellingham situation. You can listen back to that on the schedules on the TalkSport app. They put the lights out here at Wembley. The pyro and fireworks are going off as we build up to kick-off, build up to the teams coming out, and the flags are flying as well ahead of England against Wales, which is coming up live on TalkSport. Kick-off at 7:45. Let's talk about Craig Bellamy, Tom Lockie, because there was half an hour of Bellamy gold in the press conference yesterday. He said they're going to press. He doesn't want to defend deep. I don't believe in friendlies. We don't do friendlies. We're here to win. We're not Serbia. We know England's weaknesses. It was brilliant. He's changed, doesn't he?
Yeah, and whoever has done his PR post-football needs a prize, I think, because, it's been quite special. And not just me, but the whole Welsh nation and all the Wales fans hang off every word he says. We cannot get enough of it. He has installed pride back into the nation. I know we've not really done anything in terms of tournament or anything yet, but it's a team that we are so proud to watch go out and represent us.
Yeah, I mean, that game in Belgium said it all, didn't it? Even though they were beaten, it was like they'd won. I mean, if you look at the fans afterwards in the corner, in the section of the ground they were in, they were absolutely loving it. They were celebrating like they won the game.
Yeah, and talk about together stronger. 3-0 down just before half time. You think you could be beaten here, and away at Belgium, it could be 4 or 5 and could get quite tasty. So to turn it around and have that never die spirit is incredible, and that's what we are as Welsh people. We're so proud of who we are and where we come from, and all we want is just to see that on the pitch, go toe to toe with the big dogs. And no one wants to sit behind the ball for 90 minutes and lose 2-0 anyway. You might as well go after them and have a right go, and that's what he's promised us. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, that Welsh flag is on the pitch next to the England George Cross. The Welsh Red Dragon sits there on the turf, and the Three Lions crest is over the centre circle as the players make their way out onto the pitch here tonight at Wembley ahead of England against Wales. And instead of kids as mascots, adults living with dementia are walking out with the players right now. Dementia is the UK's biggest killer. Alzheimer's Society and the FA have already raised 1.3 million together to support people living with dementia. Anita Goundry is one of those, maybe able to spot her, walking out with the players diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's at the age of 50. Incredible. She's a Spennymoor Town fan. They're going well in the National League North. Thomas Tuchel said yesterday in the press conference that as a group, everybody more than happy to raise the subject, to raise awareness. And if you want to help or find out more, head to alzheimers.co.uk/join our team. Fantastic work from the FA. Listen, they get criticised a lot. I heard Simon Jordan having a go at them yesterday morning again, but there's so much good work that the Football Association do amidst the stuff that you can definitely criticise them for as well. Looks like so many of these seats have been taken up. I did hear that it was a sellout. Whether all those seats will be taken up is another matter. We may only find that out in due course, but the players are lined up under the Alzheimer's Society banner and behind a banner on the floor that just simply says football with the all in blue italics. Well, here at Wembley, it's time to observe the national anthems, starting with Wales and Land of My Fathers. Hit the spot, don't they, the Welsh, with that anthem, Land of My Fathers, words written by Evan James, music written by James James. I kid you not. And now God Save the King. It's a local derby. It definitely is not a friendly. Here's your TalkSport team for the game. Wales international Tom Lockyer, former England captain Stuart Pearce, and TalkSport's England commentator Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Adrian, and a very good evening to you. And for those of us of a certain age, this fixture used to be a staple in the calendar. The annual crossing of swords between the Three Lions and the Red Dragon, battling for home nation supremacy on sun-drenched post-season May afternoons. But now Somehow, these meetings are isolated. There's an extra edge, whatever the context, be it Lens or Al Rayyan or Wembley. How can a match with your neighbours ever be routine, even when, as tonight, it's a friendly, albeit one with the smallest of Fs? The reality for Wales is that Monday's game with Belgium is much more important, potentially the tipping point between automatic qualification or a playoff place for the World Cup. But what a fillip it would be to go into such a crucial match on the back of a first win over the old enemy in 41 years. From England's perspective, there's now such a huge margin for error in the qualification group that tonight can be relished ahead of Tuesday's match in Riga. Belgrade blueprint is there for all to see, now to be finessed over the next 6 matches before the squad for the States is named. Tonight, the need to emulate that level of performance against better opposition. Well, these are the teams. England making 4 changes, all of them enforced. Pickford continues in goal, hoping for an 8th consecutive clean sheet. Cons has played only 25 minutes at right back in 2025, but he moves out there to replace James. Stones back at centre-half alongside Gahey, and a first start for Spence at left-back. Anderson anchors the midfield, Saka and Gordon wide, Rice and Rodgers in the middle, now the only ever presence under Tuchel, and Watkins, who scored against Greece on his last international start, leads the line. For Wales, 7 changes to the team beaten by Canada. Darlow's in goal. There's a 50th cap for Nico Williams, who returns to right back. Roden and Ben Davies at centre-half and De Silva at left-back. Ampadu has Wilson and Cullen ahead of him in midfield, with Johnson and Brooks wide and Moore up front. And on the benches for England, Byrne, Lewis Skelly, O'Reilly, Jordan Henderson, Loftus-Cheek, Gibbs-White, Eza, Bowen, Rashford, and the keepers Dean Henderson and Trafford. Kane and Kwanzaa have officially been named on the bench. We're not expecting that either of them will feature tonight. For Wales, Mepham, Cabango, Capaccio and Lawler, Jordan James, Sheehan, Joel Colwell and Ruben Colwell, Kumas, Thomas, Broadhead, Harrison, Isaac Davis, with Adam Davis and King, the sub-keepers. England white shirts, dark blue shorts, will kick from left to right, and Wales in all red, and they will defend the end away to our right hand side. The Welsh supporters in fine voice, and they go from the halfway point over on the far touchline round towards the goal away to our right. Well, there are no points at stake, but there are points to prove. There's no qualification on the line, but there's plenty of parochial pride, because for only the 8th time in 40 odd years, it's England-Wales, and the Welsh from the off already trying to counter-attack England, working the ball out of the right hand side. Nico Williams in possession, and then it's worked back towards Joe Roden, and now to Ben Davies at the heart of the Welsh defence. Davies, who hasn't played a single minute of football for Tottenham this season, but recalled tonight, hoping to win his 100th cap next week. England work the ball back for their goalkeeper Jordan Pickford, who's in all yellow. He's driven it down towards Bukayo Saka. Strong challenge coming in on him from De Silva, but one back by England, with Ezri Konsa laying it back for John Stones, who's recalled by England tonight, a year almost to the day since he last played for his country because of the horrendous time that he's had through injury. Anthony Gordon able to bring the ball forward now down the England left, and he's running with real intent towards the edge of the penalty area. Switch of play out towards Bukayo Saka on the corner of the box, in towards Morgan Rogers, twisting and turning, laying it back. Gordon in a more central position across the face of goal, and only narrowly wide. Well, both sides showing attacking intent in the opening couple of minutes. It is still 0-0, but a good first sight of goal for England. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, really good attack early on with a giveaway of possession by Anderson, and the Welsh was straight after England. Fortunately, that broke down for England, but on the counter-attack, interesting to see when England did get forward, there was 3 or 4 of the Welsh players quite happy to stay up the pitch and not burst a gut to get back goal side, and that might just play into England's hands.
Declan Rice will go across to take the corner. That Gordon cross-come shot took a deflection. So Rice to take a corner on the England left in front of the travelling Welsh support. Raises his left arm above his head. And there's plenty of air underneath this as he swings it in. Stones attacking the far post. It's played back and a right-footed effort comes in. Perfect start for England. They're ahead inside 2.5 minutes. Rice with the ball, swung deep towards the back post. Stones headed it down. Gahey kept it alive, pulled it back for Morgan Rogers, who kept his nerve to siphon into the bottom left-hand corner. A man that really needed a goal. 23 games without one for club and country, but he's fired England into the perfect start here at Wembley.
Well, Thomas Tuchel wanted to build on what happened last month, and he's certainly gone about it the right way. Brilliant from Gahey, keeping it alive. Stones, his header at the back post looked as though it was going out, and Gahey was the one who kept it alive, and he's just getting a pat on the head there by Morgan Rogers, and that's what team football's all about, let's say. Great finish.
Well, it will be looked at the VAR. Lucas Fendrick just making sure that the ball hadn't gone over the byline. Gahey did keep it in time, and Rogers was there just to pick his spot, firing into the bottom left-hand corner for his first goal for club all country since he netted for Villa in the Parc des Princes against PSG in the Champions League quarter-finals last season. Perfect start for England. Wales on the front foot straight away in a game that's been played at a breathtaking tempo so far. Here's Ampadu swinging the ball deep and straight out of play for a goal kick. Well, you've heard from Stuart Pearce, a man who only lost 6 of his 78 international appearances. We've also, I'm delighted to say, got Tom Lockyer, a man who's played 16 games so far for Wales. They've only conceded 5 goals in those 16 matches when he's been on the pitch. But Tom, your countrymen have already seen their backline breached here.
Yeah, it was so disappointing. It was initially a really good start getting after England on the counter-attack, but for all the quality England have, to give them such a simple goal from a set piece is going to be so frustrating. And Morgan Rogers finds himself in so much space in a box that is packed full of Wales players, so that's going to be utterly disappointing for Wales, and they're going to have to respond well here.
And where does the finger of blame lie in terms of that set piece defender?
Oh, well, who's picking up Morgan Rogers for starters? To have him in that sort of space inside the penalty box, not even the penalty box, he's inside the 6-yard box. That's going to be questions raised for sure. The first contact obviously is always the big one as well, so that's massive, and that needs to get sorted going forward.
Brennan Johnson, I think he was the man-to-man marker, the blocker, and obviously when the ball's gone sort of semi-dead after first contact, Gahey kept it alive, and that's when Brennan Johnson's lost Rogers.
So England leading by a goal to nil. Morgan Rogers scoring his first goal for his country. Started the last 3 World Cup qualifiers, predominantly playing in the number 10 role, and he has the most advanced of the central roles for England again today. But Anderson shielding the back 4. Rice will push forward on the left-hand side of midfield, and Rogers on the right. Here's Gordon coming towards the edge of the penalty area with TalkSport. England already leading by a goal to nil. Ball work down the left-hand side of the penalty area for Jed Spence, who's making his first international start tonight. Playing at left-back, having come on at right-back for 25 minutes out in Serbia. Stones finding Gahey. Gahey will work it out towards the England left-hand side again. England have failed to win each of their last 4 friendlies here at Wembley. The last win in a friendly underneath the famous arch was against Australia back in 2023. Wales, though, just not got a good record in this particular fixture over the recent past. Indeed, they haven't scored a goal at Wembley since Ian Rush back in 1983. They've got work to do here. They've got a free kick about 5 yards inside their own half on the right-hand side. England leading 1-0, 6 gone on TalkSport.
Yeah, just looking at the Welsh, when England play through that first line of press, I'm seeing Moore, Brooks and Wilson just turning back and getting back in their own time. I don't know whether it's a tactic to be on the counter-attack in good positions, but I think from England's point of view, they'll take that every day. There's less of a block to play through further up the pitch.
Rice finding Saka. Back for Declan Rice again. Now Ezri Konsa, who's got plenty of experience playing at right back. He's in that role today in the absence of the injured Reece James. As I mentioned earlier, he's seen very little time there for Aston Villa over the course of this calendar year. less than half an hour of first team action on the right hand side of the back four, but that's the role that he's playing in today. Gordon down towards Jed Spence. Spence rolling his foot over the top of the ball, and Gordon fires in a corner which is blocked and put out of play for another corner. Tom, keep your eye on how the Welsh set up here and exactly who is marking who and whether they can deal with this set piece any more effectively.
Looks like he's free here, Morgan Rogers. No, it is Brennan Johnson who's got him. So yeah, let's hope he sticks to him a bit closer this time. But interestingly for me, it's a 4-4-2 for Wales, which is a little bit different from what we're used to, or a 4-2-4. Trying to get that press high on up the pitch, but England is so comfortable on the ball they can play around it quite easily.
And the score from the first corner, here's the second, in from Rice. Not that it's much height on this one, it's dealt with at the near post, played back out for Rice again, who has shanked a left-footed cross straight behind Cardalo's goal and out of play for a goal kick. Tuchel will be really happy with the way that the opening 8 minutes have gone. Those standards set in Belgrade, but it's all a question of being able to live up to them. And Serbia aside, just outside the top 20 in the Elo ratings. Wales just inside the top 40 in that particular rating section, but widely regarded as being slightly superior to that. Here's Bukayo Saka laying the ball back for Anderson, who's had such an impressive start to his international career, particularly that game against Andorra here. Ball goes out towards Gordon, running off the ball ahead of him from Jed Spence and from Declan Rice, and it's Rice that has it on the left hand side of the penalty area, moving back outside the box to tee up Anderson again. Anderson turning, going back out for Rice once more on the left hand side of the midfield. With TalkSport, England leading with Morgan Rogers' 3rd minute goal. And now Spence on the left hand side of the penalty area. He's just pulled it back. Rice able to deliver a cross which is headed away. It's took a nick off Joe Roden and out for a 3rd England corner.
Yeah, England are going to get some joy down that left hand side. Conser playing right back on this side, happy to sort of support from behind or even tuck in to make a 3 at the back. Conser's got to gallop on, and I'm looking at Brennan Johnson and I'm not sure he enjoys going all the way back, and he's lost his man a couple of times, Tom, and he could be a weak link on that side.
Yeah, for as brilliant as he is going forward, a running back is not his game, is it? So he's going to need to do that to help out Nico Williams there, because the left-hand side for England is looking very dangerous.
So Rice will come out and take this corner as well. The first two on the left, this one on the right. It's going to be an away swinger, and will be a Hampden Park for goal news very shortly. In comes Rice's corner in towards the penalty spot, and it was blocked. Then to Anderson on the edge of the box. Now for Rice again. Chipped inside that penalty area. Another strong header away from Roden. Goes out for Saka. Saka's left-footed ball in the next phase of play. Rice coming around the back. Rogers takes the responsibility, and he's played across the face of goal for Watkins, who cannot miss. And he's there to bundle it over the line and double England's advantage. Well, neither of the attack-minded Villa players in the team have been in particularly good form for their club this season, but both have scored inside the opening 10 minutes here. It's England 2, Wales 0.
Well, I've got to say, England have done brilliantly for both of these goals, keeping the ball alive, but the Welsh will be so disappointed, Tom, with their contribution towards it.
Yeah, it's another set piece again, and you know, when you've got the heights of Kiefer Moore and Joe Roden in there, you'd like to think you'd deal with these a little bit better, but it's been utterly disappointing so far. And for what we had promised, high pressure on the ball, England have been so comfortable with the ball around the back, and Wales have had no other option but to drop deep and get behind the ball, because England are just so comfortable on the ball.
Well, Ollie Watkins' previous start, in fact his only international start last season, came against Greece. Scored that day and deputising for Harry Kane again here. He's also been able to find the net from ultra close range. The ball evading Nico Williams and put in. It is still being checked, I would imagine, just to make sure that Watkins was onside as the ball was played across. He was. The goal stands, and it is 2-0 to England. Now, it wasn't a goal at Hampden Park, but we can catch up with TalkSport's Paul Mitchell.
Scotland 0, Greece 0. It should have been a goal, Jim. What a miss. Vangelis Pavlidis had the opportunity. Ball played across to him by Christos Tsoulas, and for somehow about 4 yards out, he completely mishit it, didn't get the connection, and the ball went behind. Scotland lucky. Scotland 0, Greece 0.
So a let-off there. No let-offs for San Marino in the early stages. They're 3 down through 12 minutes in Austria. And Bosnia and Herzegovina lead in Cyprus by a goal to nil. We'll keep you updated with all the goals as they go in. Earlier, Scotland's under-21s had a relatively convincing win. Beat Gibraltar 12-0. With 4 goals for the Manchester City striker Emilio Lawrence and a hat-trick for Hearts' James Wilson. Here's Morgan Rogers getting it forward. Watkins turning it around the corner. Saka's inside the penalty area, and his shot towards the far post is well blocked by the retreating Welsh back line. But this is one-way traffic. England 2 up and hungry for more.
I tell you what, when England counter-attacked then, there was the front line, 4 Welsh players just looking back at their own goal, coming back at their own time. And I tell you what, if you do that, it plays straight into England's hands.
Yeah, and it's not something I've seen before from a Craig Bellamy side, so I don't know whether this is a tactic or maybe they do have half an eye on Belgium maybe and trying to protect their legs, but either way it doesn't look pretty at the minute, and this could get messy if this carries on this way.
So Declan Rice to take this latest corner. It's England's 4th, and again the left arm is raised above his head as the delivery then is fired in. It was cleared straight into Elliot Anderson and bounces away and out of play for a goal kick. So Tom, Wales just need to take stock really. You talked about the fact that you've got to save the legs, but psychologically any kind of defeat, but particularly a heavy defeat, could have a huge impact going into that crucial game against Belgium on Monday.
Absolutely, but it wouldn't be the end of the world because ultimately it will give a lot to learn from. But you're just looking at, in times like this at the minute, whatever we're doing, it's just not working, and you're looking for your experienced players to put a foot on it and settle it out.
Rogers finds Saka. England coming again with a left-footed ball swung inside the penalty area that's headed away by Roden and then cleared by Ben Davis. High ball from him down towards the Welsh left, but very well dealt with by Ezri Konsa under pressure from David Brooks, who's fouled him. And it's a free kick going to be taken on the England right-hand side. Referee tonight, Urs Schneider from Switzerland. Giving England that free kick that Konsa will take. It's the 105th meeting of the two nations. If England win this, they will have won 5 times as many of those previous games as Wales have, and this will be an 8th in a row. The last Welsh victory against England was at Wrexham in a home nations game back in 1984. England play the ball through their penalty area, a little bit chancy, but the pass right across the box found a man, and now Stones can get his foot on it and can see an exhibition of his wonderful range of passing as he pings one out towards the England left-hand side for Jed Spence.
Yeah, I don't know whether, Jim, the words of Craig Bellamy, we don't want to sit back and defend, but I'm afraid when you're playing against a team that can dominate the ball and can hurt you one-on-one, you're going to have to defend in numbers. There's no team in the world that can survive that, and there's been too many times I've seen the Welsh side with 3 and 4 players the wrong side of the ball and not getting back with urgency.
Anderson trying to bring it forward through the midfield. 2 Welsh players converged on him. I think it was Cullen that got the footing to get it away, but England winning all the second ball at the moment. Saka trying to drive it forward. Brooks turning away. Rogers then gets a shot in after it ricochets off the Bournemouth man. Morgan Rogers' effort is comfortably saved by Carl Darlow, diving away to his left-hand side. England 2, Wales 0. Rogers on 3 minutes, Watkins on 11. The ball with Jay De Silva, who's one of 6 English-born players inside the Wales starting lineup tonight. Rice has got it. De Silva, who was a former England under-21 international, qualifies because his grandmother is from Pontypridd. Konsa on the right-hand touchline, just working it through the midfield to his left-hand side for Anderson, and then Saka sweeps it away from Brennan Johnson out towards Jed Spence, who's born in towards the near post. Was just past Anthony Gordon. Nico Williams takes it down towards his own dead ball line. He can clear off balance. He did well to hook it away from Spence and put it out of play for an England throw. 2-0.
Yeah, I think England are enjoying the game too much from Wales's point of view, that is for sure. They've got plenty of room to play in and around the Welsh, and the Welsh are just not getting back in numbers to make it difficult and deny the space.
England taking that throw, working it again down towards the dead ball line, and the referee spotted an infringement, a handball and a free kick to the Welsh. We saw Dean Saunders earlier coming up past the commentary spot. He had a big beaming grin on his face. I'm guessing he probably hasn't now. Dean's reaction tomorrow morning, you can hear it on the breakfast show, which comes from Glasgow tomorrow. Alan Brazil and Ray Parler returning at 6 tomorrow morning. David Weir, Charlie Mulgrew, Nicky Butt amongst the guests, as well as Dino as well. Also, if you fancy something different on your morning commute tomorrow, be sure to check out the Chris Evans Breakfast Show, which is weekdays from 6:30 on Virgin Radio, which you can listen to on DAB. It's TalkSport Breakfast from 6 a.m. every morning from Monday through Friday. England get another free kick. The reaction on the sports bar from an England perspective will be very positive if it stays this way, less so from the Welsh point of view. Belarus 0, Denmark 2, a latest score in the other game in Scotland's group tonight. That's not good news as far as the Scots are concerned. Denmark will be, as things stand right now, 2 points clear of them. England have possession with Declan Rice. He's gone back for Elliot Anderson. Anderson near the edge of the centre circle before finding John Stones, who will be able to take it on a touch and just breeze away from Kiefer Moore. Lays the ball down for Saka on the England right. Back it comes for Anderson again. Anderson just going sideways at the moment, about 20 yards inside Welsh territory. Finds Rice. Rice back for Gahey. Now Stones. Stones, who is winning his 84th cap for his country tonight. They're inside the top 5 most capped defenders of England's history now. Ball out towards Spence. Spence turned forward to the blonde-haired Gordon, who initially looked to move back inside and then turned the other way and gets the better of Nico Williams and runs towards the edge of the Welsh penalty area, trying to get himself into a shooting position. Sets up Elliot Anderson instead, who took 2 or 3 touches. His shot blocked, but it comes back out for Rice. Now worked down to Saka. Saka turning it onto his left foot. Oh, it's a beautiful goal. Just cut it onto his left foot, turned back inside, bed one into the top left-hand corner. And England have been able to pick up where they left off in Belgrade. 5 goals out in Serbia and 3 in the opening 20 minutes tonight.
I've got to say, Jim, if I'm Williams, the right back of Wales, I'm saying to Brennan Johnson, you're going to have to do a little bit more, son, because he's given his wicket away on the halfway line, going to press Declan Rice and going to press Gahey. The ball's played past him, and all of a sudden there's a 2-on-1 overload, and England are finding so much space. And that is one of the best goals I have ever seen in this stadium. An incredible finish.
And that's the quality that these top teams have, and that is what I mentioned earlier. Don't be giving 2 goals away from set pieces when other teams have quality like this. He cuts in on his left foot, and from there into the top bins, you just don't save those. And from a Wales point of view, I'm really looking to the leaders now. I'm seeing Ben Davies putting his arms up, Ethan Ampadu, and I just need more from them. Whatever they're working on, whatever they're trying to do right now, it is not working.
So how do they change it, Tom?
Well, they are trying to press. Craig Bellamy is right, they are trying to press, but England are so comfortable on the ball every time that Kiefer Moore sets the trigger, because he's the one who goes hunting, and then Harry Wilson follows him, followed by the 2 wingers, David Brooks and Brennan Johnson. But England make the pitch so big and they're so comfortable on the ball, but by the time that Kiefer Moore gets there, like now, he's played around like he's not even there, and then you do that 3 or 4 times and it's demoralising, and you don't end up going again.
Yeah, Tom makes a really good point, and I also think, throwing to the mix, I think the press from the 2 wide players is a little bit too narrow. So Brennan Johnson's going to press, but he's at least 15 yards in, and all of a sudden, by the time he gets to go and press Gahey, they play it outside him, and then off we go, the cavalry charge again with loads of room.
Kiefer Moore has just fouled Esri Konsa, who's not back on his feet as yet. I think he just caught him from behind. He's all right, Konsa. And he strides forward now towards halfway. Then just bends down and feels the Achilles just on his right foot. He's okay, he's going to be able to continue. That's some statement, by the way. One of the best goals you've ever seen here at Wembley, because you've been at nearly every game that this stadium's ever seen.
Jim, we're right behind it here. It was incredible. He's opened his body up, come inside and used two defenders to fade it round, and he's nestled in the top corner. It's magnificent.
It's only his second appearance tonight in Tuchel's 7th game since taking charge. It's only the second time that he's had the opportunity to work with Saka, who's in space again on the right-hand side. It's just far too easy for England to bring it forward and get between the lines, and they almost got Saka in again. That time Jay De Silva stepped up and was able to knock it away, but they haven't been able to plug those gaps that you guys have just been talking about.
No, they haven't. As I say, they've almost got a 4 up there with Wilson joining Kiefer Moore to go on the press, but the press is so narrow as well, so England just get it to the left centre half, commit Brennan Johnson, he should stay in slot for a little while, and then give it to Spence, and all of a sudden it's 2 versus 1, and Williams is trying to deal with the onslaught that's coming there, and Declan Rice is cute enough to get in the mix as well and create another overload.
We'll be back at Hampden Park very shortly. Still 0-0 in Scotland's game against Greece tonight. Denmark, the other game in that group, 2 up in Belarus. A surprising scoreline from Toshan Faroes leading Montenegro by a goal to 0. Here's Anthony Gordon, almost getting it through towards Rodgers. It just came slightly behind him, and Rodgers, in trying to get it into his stride, it just flicked off his trailing left foot. And Wales are going to be able to get it to Ethan Ampadu, and the Devonian-born midfielder can bring it under control and then work it forward down to his left-hand side for Ben Davies. De Silva back for Ampadu again, who wanted the return, but instead Davies goes back to his goalkeeper Carl Darlow. Darlow taking a touch, bringing it to the edge of the D, and now preparing to get it upfield. So we'll go to Hampden, Scotland, taking on Greece, and here's TalkSport's Paul Mitchell.
0, Greece 0, but Greece certainly having the better of things, over 70% of possession. They should have been ahead after 7 minutes. Vangelis Pavlis with a horrible miss inside the 6-yard box. How he didn't connect, nobody quite knows. Scotland 0, Greece 0.
So still 0-0 there. 3-0 to England here at Wembley. Goals from Rodgers, Watkins and Saka inside the opening 20 minutes. We've played 24 now here on TalkSport, with more international action coming your way Tuesday night. England hoping to play half as well as this, and they go to Riga to take on Latvia, and that's live on TalkSport. Build up at 7 for a 7:45 kickoff BST here on TalkSport. We'll be out there, and we'll also keep you updated, of course, on Monday night, everything that's going on in Wales. Crucial game in Cardiff at home to Belgium. Belgium in action tomorrow. They're in Ghent taking on North Macedonia. If Belgium don't win that game, then Wales' fate is in their hands. They will definitely win the group and qualify if they win their last 3 games. If Belgium don't win tomorrow, they're by no means out of the automatic spot, even if Belgium do win tomorrow. All the important international goals over the course of this week here on TalkSport. John Stones is in possession. He's midway inside his own half, and he's gone back behind square to his left-hand side. Another opportunity for England to be able to bring it forward. It is incidentally the first time England have scored 3 goals in the opening 20 minutes of a match since. That's just one for you to ponder. It's longer ago than you thought. I would imagine you played that day. I'll get your thoughts on it in a moment, Stu. Stones works it forward here into the feet of Ollie Watkins. Back it goes for Anderson, and Anderson will turn it out to his left. What do you reckon?
Well, I'm going to go for England versus Yugoslavia. We were out in Serbia and talked about it, and I think they were 4 up within a very short space of time that day.
Absolutely, Bob, on 1987. So the first time for 38 years England have scored 3 in the opening 20 minutes. And they've got a free kick here in a promising position as the ball's played down the left-hand side of the penalty area for Anthony Gordon. He cut back, he was outside the box when Williams made his challenge. Well, Williams catches him and is booked.
The point I was trying to make earlier about Wales probably defending too narrow as 2 wide players was a direct reflection of what England done a minute ago. Wales had good possession in the build-up, but England's two wide players, in Saka and Gordon, they defended much deeper and a lot wider. So out the corner of their eye, they can see an advanced fullback that's near enough level with them. What Wales are not doing, and more especially Brennan Johnson, is the fullback's gone beyond him, and he's only got eyes for Gahey to go and press him, and all of a sudden it's a 2v1 overload. Now, as a fullback, you shouldn't allow your wide player to get away with that. He's got to do a better shift going backwards.
And I'm sure he will be being told by Nico Williams and also by Craig Bellamy. Bottom line is that it's a situation that Wales can't afford to repeat on Monday night against Belgium. That's the most important thing. Declan Rice is certainly a player with a bit of previous from this kind of area these days. The free kick is 7 yards outside the penalty area. It's left of centre. 4 in the wall with a draft excluder. Rice runs up, hits it. It's over Darlow's bar, not by much, but the Welsh goalkeeper had it covered. 3-0 to England here on TalkSport.
Yeah, he's tried to go for the up and down and never actually got it down on target.
And that would have just summed up the first half nicely if that one went in from a Wales point of view. They just want to put the foot on the ball and almost take the sting out of the game at the minute, but England are just not letting them do that. England can smell blood and they're really stepping on to Wales here.
That's Tom Lockyer with us here on TalkSport. I'm delighted to say tonight here's Jed Spence, left-hand touchline. Played back by him for Mark Gahey, now to John Stones. It's an interesting discussion that always comes about this time of a campaign leading up to a tournament. Exactly how many places are nailed down in terms of Thomas Tuchel's 26-man squad for the United States. I reckon it could potentially be as few as 16. I think that he's got quite a few options. I think it could be 16 with maybe 7 probables and a few possibles, but I think that there are still a few who are having a sing for their supper at the moment. But those that are in possession of the shirt at the moment are certainly in the box seat, you would imagine, after the performance last month and the start of this one. Ampadu goes back to Carl Darlow and he'll play down towards Ben Davies.
Yeah, if you've got probables, possibles, me and you, Jim, are still in the impossibles column.
Oh, you speak for yourself. At least you were there, at least you were once a possible. Free kick now to England on the right. Adrian Dunham's marks out of 10, always fascinating. And I very much look forward to hearing exactly what he's made of this. Few 6s and 7s for England tonight. I mean, I could pay him no higher a compliment than that.
I think a blank 5 across the board for the frugal Durham.
Stones is played out to the left. They'll be on the TalkSport website, incidentally, as will the customary England debrief with Adrian and Stu and myself. Looking back at this game, what we've learned, what we'll take into Riga. That'll be on the TalkSport YouTube channel later this evening. England leading 3-0 and in possession with Saka coming in off the right-hand side. And we've got, as always, the England trivia question coming up in a few minutes' time as well. Saka playing the ball forward, but easily cut out to Silva. Now Brooks taking a touch on the touchline, going back for Ben Davies. Now Ben Davies working it across the edge of his own penalty area. Roden's ball back towards Darlow, and Morgan Rogers sprinted after, and England pressing really well from the front. Darlow did well, he got it away hurriedly but effectively. Wales get it forward, England get it back inside their own half, and now Gahey in possession will just work it forward here again for Declan Rice. 31 gone here on TalkSport. 3-0 England lead, and here comes Gordon down the left-hand side of the penalty area, taking on Roden, but his touch was just too heavy, and it rolls over the dead ball line and out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, super ball there by Spence. Opened his body up, used his right foot, faded it inside the fullback, and I've got to say, really good cover coming across by Roden.
So earlier today, Finland beat Lithuania 2-1 in a World Cup qualifier, the latest in the other World Cup qualifiers taking place at the moment. Belarus 0, Denmark 2. That's in Scotland's group. The Scots still 0-0 with Greece. Netherlands leading in Malta now by a goal to nil. Faroes 1, Montenegro 0. 0-0 between the Czechs and Croatia. The Bosnians a goal up in Cyprus. And Austria 3, San Marino 0. Wales in possession. Ampadu trying to get the ball over the top for Johnson's run up against his club teammate Jed Spence. Now Nico Williams with a clever little back heel flick. Ampadu coming forward. Ampadu towards the edge of the penalty area. He's looking for Kiefer Moore. He missed him. Brooks couldn't get on the end of it. Conser gets it back for Pickford. Pickford will drive it out to the England left-hand side for Anthony Gordon. And Rice will just mop things up in the midfield. Go back for Gahey. Oh, Pickford's touch was poor. He's just got away with it. And only just picked up possession and just flicked it away from the on-rushing Harry Wilson in the nick of time. Very nearly cleared it into him for what would have been a goal back for Wales.
And I've got to say, and I'm not being detrimental here, but there was a lot of criticism for England after the Andorra game. But I tell you what, Andorra worked tirelessly, all 11, trying to nullify the space. And that's what made it so difficult for England. But they're finding it so easy tonight. Too much space, 4 players wrong side of the ball a lot of the time.
Here's Saka. His cross is deflected, comes out for Conser. Conser back for Anderson. Anderson for Stones. And then gets it back from Gahey. Working it in towards Anthony Gordon, trying to wriggle his way through. He and Saka both going for the same ball for a moment. The Arsenal man takes over. Lays it back for Conser, who's not showing any ill effects of that bang that he got to the Achilles from Kiefer Moore. England recycle it from the right-hand side out to the far touchline, which is their left. And it comes back now from Jed Spence. 3-0 England leading here on TalkSport, with Austria 4 up at home to San Marino. Brooks winning it back for Wales. Crossfield ball. The Welsh getting the red shirts forward really quickly, including Kiefer Moore, who's been fouled, and Gahey is booked.
This is where the rules of the game are a little bit fractured. A clear offside there. Gahey's got to stretch to try and cut the ball out, and with that the ball's dropped down, and it was a foul, there's no doubt about that. But for me, I don't know whether you call that back for an offside prior to that.
Well, you can't do the VAR can't get involved in that, but I agree with you. That's where the laws are flawed. Now, it's a really poor challenge as well from Gahey. I mean, it's an orange really, because his legs have gone round the left leg of Kiefer Moore. Tom Lockyer, it was a poor challenge from the England number 6.
Yeah, and he's lucky he didn't catch him with his studs, because that would easily be a red card, and it was kind of almost a calf on knee there instead. But interestingly, once Wales do play out from the back and beat the initial England press, England are happy to drop in and give Wales some time on the ball.
Free kick is taken, pumped towards the right hand side of the box. It's cleared. De Silva then tries to flick it on, and then he knew that he had to take matters into his own hands to stop an England counter-attack. And the Swiss referee is going to speak to him as well. Thomas Tuchel standing hands outstretched. Can't believe that a yellow card hasn't been shown, but it will be an England free kick 15 yards outside their box.
I do like Anderson in that centre of midfield. He's abrasive, you know, and sometimes we got a lot of good technicians in here, but you also need someone who's fairly abrasive when the ball breaks down.
That's why you're here, mate. Mark Gahey flicks it forward towards Declan Rice. Did I say that out loud? That was brave. Here's Stones, 15 yards inside his own half. England leading by 3-0. The Faroe Islands 2 up now against Montenegro. Let's find out how close Scotland have been to breaking the deadlock in their match at home to Greece. Here's TalkSport's Paul Mitchell.
Scotland 0, Greece 0. Tell you what, I've been to sponsored silences with more atmosphere than there is at Hampden tonight. Greece have just clamped down on Scotland. They've rarely been in the great penalty box. Greece should be ahead. Pavlidis with a horrible miss after 7 minutes. Gun saving from the striker after 33. Took a little deflection, but really it's been poor from Scotland so far. Scotland 0, Greece 0.
Now the Bosnians in a really good position in Group H, along with Austria. They're both ahead in their respective games quite comfortably. The Bosnians 2 up in Cyprus, Austria 4 up at home to San Marino, and it's going to be one of those two that will be going through automatically in that group. It's Declan Rice in possession. Ball played down to the England right for Bukayo Saka. Saka the concert of Rice. And now Rice can turn. No pressure on the ball from Kiefer Moore. So we'll play it forward towards Esri Konsa again. Two club teammates have already scored for England tonight. Bukayo Saka scoring a quite sublime third. England working it out towards Gordon. Gordon up against Nico Williams, two players who are in direct confrontation in the Premier League on Sunday at St James's Park in that Newcastle win over Forest. Now the ball goes out towards Declan Rice. Rice back inside his own half again. Another opportunity for Anderson on halfway. Just turns it away from Moore, lays it back for Rice. Here's the long switch of play out towards Saka. De Silva read it, probably the smallest man on the field, but he climbs high enough to be able to head it away. Konsa can pick it up. Back from him to Elliot Anderson. Anderson to Morgan Rogers between the lines, and he's got goal side. He's flicked it in towards Declan Rice across the edge of the 6-yard box, smuggled away by Roden. It was a vital touch from him, and then Rice can't control it. The offside flag was up anyway, and it's a free kick to Wales. 3-0 with 7 to go to half-time.
Yeah, I'm interested to ask Tom this question, Jim. You know, the game's almost gone now. So, if you're Wales, what do you do at half-time in regard to all your plans? Because the 11 out there are getting nothing out of this game at the moment from a physical or moral point of view. Do you make wholesale changes at half-time?
Yes, potentially yes. I think you'll definitely see changes earlier than originally planned off the back of this, but I'd imagine that you'd get in at half-time, maybe try and tweak the system. Maybe it's not quite how we expect England to play, and maybe the press just isn't right, because at the minute the front four are pressing on their own, and as soon as England break past that, they're into the back four too easily, and it's just not working. So maybe switch to a back three as well, potentially.
Here's Konsa coming down the right-hand side of the penalty area, but his driven ball is too heavy for Gordon. He's going to be fielded by Jed Spence. A back for Gordon, another ball in from him, and attacked by Ollie Watkins, cleared by Brooks, out on the edge of the penalty area for Anderson, who resists the urge to shoot, as he was implored to do by the fans, and he'll just work it back instead towards John Stones. Stones out towards the England right again for Konsa. Konsa midway between the right-hand side of the penalty area and the right-hand touchline. Rogers playing it down the line for Anderson, and sliding in at the far post. Watkins, almost by the shadow of the bar, hasn't been able to turn it in from close range.
I think he's hurt himself as well. He's gone in and collided with the goal post. Oh, and I'll tell you what, he's took the post right on his knee by the looks of things, and he looks in some pain. I don't like the look of this, Jim.
Well, he only had eyes for the ball and not for the frame of the goal. Threw himself in to try and get the touch. He did get a touch on the ball, hoiked it wide, but the collision was absolutely inevitable, and that looks like a very, very sore one, Tom.
Yeah, and it should be 4. He's 2 yards out from goal, and if Harry Kane's playing, he puts that away without a shadow of a doubt. But yeah, we just hope he's okay there, because that did look really nasty with the collision into the post.
It gives us a chance to go back to that point that you were making about the potential switch to a back three, and what Craig can do to try and stop the flow.
Yeah, and a back three can be seen as negative, but England have got so many forward runners that you'd actually just be passing them on to the defender. At the minute, with England's system, with the 2 centre-halves occupied already, when anyone runs forward from midfield, then the midfielder has to track them. If you then switch to a 3, they could potentially just pass them on to the spare centre-back. So, look, I don't think this is an easy fix. This breaking play is probably what Wales need, but they certainly need to change the press up front, because just running aimlessly at players, hoping for them to give you the ball back when you're in half a pitch, and you've got players like Declan Rice and Elliot Anderson, who are the most comfortable players on the pitch, on the ball, creating overloads. You know, it's going to be a long night, and that's exactly what it looks like at the minute.
Well, Watkins is back on his feet, and the encouraging aspect is that he's being led away towards the far touchline rather than towards this near one, which would make you believe that he is going to be able to continue, but he's still got pain etched right across his face as he slid in. I think initially what happened is maybe the studs of his left boot just got caught in the turf, and that meant that he just lost his footing, made his way forward, his left knee hit the post. That would explain the miss as well, the fact that his left boot got caught in the turf before that contact was made. He is going to be able to continue. England sent Marcus Rashford out to warm up, but I think they're going to try and give Watkins to half-time. The stretcher which had been taken on has now made its way back, I'm delighted to say, without Ollie Watkins on it. We're back underway. Austria 5 up against San Marino now, with Stefan Posch scoring the latest. Harry Wilson just dropping deep, finding Joe Rodon. Now to Ben Davis, 99th cap for the defender today. Played out to the left for David Brooks. Brooks goes back for De Silva. Now through the midfield for Rodon. Rodon inside the centre circle. Wilson drops deep to show for the ball. Cullen making a run down the inside left channel, but Ben Davis has worked it wide for Brooks instead. Brooks just standing one up towards the edge of the penalty area, half cleared, comes out for Harry Wilson, who tries his luck from distance, but it goes over the bar. But a rare sight of England's goal for one of the men in red. Harry Wilson bending one in from 20 yards or so, but over the bar, Tom.
Yeah, he was never going to pass there, was he? These chances have been few and far between, and although he's 25 yards out, we have seen him put them in the top corner in his career. So, especially on his left foot, he looks to bend it in the far corner, but just, a little wayward over the bar there.
Jordan Pickford has now gone 672 minutes since he last conceded a goal for England. He currently holds the record, which he set a few years ago, 726 minutes, so 12 hours and 6 minutes. We might have work to do here. England have given it away from a goal kick, playing across the edge of their own penalty area. The loose ball seized upon by Brennan Johnson. Johnson's got it again now on the right-hand touchline. Ball in behind everybody except for David Brooks. Brooks working it down towards Kiefer Moore. Good sliding challenge comes in from Gahey to get it away. Brooks with a shot from the edge of the penalty area that spoons off an England man high up in the air, and then Rodgers clears, comes back out to Ampadu, who's tried his luck, and that's blocked. Now Brooks helping it back inside the penalty area. Spence can head away, and Wales' most potent passage of pressure so far comes to nothing as Saka clears his lines. Wales get to that first though with Rodon. Rodon back for Wilson to Williams, and now to Ampadu, down for De Silva. And the ball goes back inside the centre circle. Ben Davis finding Carl Darlow, but that was much better, Tom. Much more cohesive attacking play from your countrymen.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, that's the sort of sustained pressure you want to try and build, but you take two backward passes when you could play forward, and look, England, it just allows England to get right back up the pitch, and now we're back with Carl Darlow in goals on the ball. So from what was such a dangerous position to be back here, it is a bit disappointing.
Do you know what? For all the good play that England have done and everything, it all boils down to the fact England, when they've had to, they've worked harder defensively than the Welsh. I'm telling you, and that is quite damning. If you're the Welsh and you're coming to Wembley, the one thing you do is you put more sweat on the shirt than any English player. That is non-negotiable.
Well, we talked during that game against Andorra about the fact that they were so well drilled and well organised. They have to play the same way week in or week out, game in, game out, but they know what they're doing. They're always up against players that are better than them, but they're very well drilled. What we've seen from two sides ranked between 30 and 40 in the world rankings in Serbia, and now tonight against Wales, that they haven't had that same defensive organisation and resilience, and maybe, dare I say it, on occasion work ethic. Here's Bukayo Saka making his way forward for England towards the edge of the penalty area. The ball curved in and headed away. Comes back out for Stones. We're in a couple of minutes of added time. Austria 6 up, Denmark 3 up away to Belarus. Rasmus Højlund's got a couple of those. Gordon playing the ball in here, and England will end the first half with corner number 5 as they look to try and garner a 4-0 advantage over Wales before half-time. We've had joy from corners already tonight, and Declan Rice will go out to retrieve the ball that has just been kicked down and hit the corner flag itself over on that far touchline. England set up inside the penalty area. Gordon, Rodgers not too far away from him, and then there are another 4 players, including Ollie Watkins, round by the penalty spot, all waiting to make different movements inside that penalty area now. In comes the delivery, and Gahey arriving at the far post has headed it wide.
I think there was a touch by a Welsh defender just in front of Gahey that probably saved the 4th goal going in.
I think the offside flag actually came up as well, and it's going to be a free kick to Wales. It might be the last kick of the first half, but it is a half in which England have been completely dominant. Wales haven't been able to create much. England going forward rampant inside the opening 20 minutes. And indeed, Cardalo's goal kick is the last action of the first 45 minutes, in which England have been much the better side, scoring their quickest goal since the final of Euro 2020, scoring 3 in the opening 20 minutes for the first time since 1987, and Wales have had no response. Rodgers, Watkins and Saka all on the score sheet. Saka's goal, absolutely sublime. Half-time, it's England 3, Wales 0.
Well, that first 20 minutes was absolutely brutal if you're Welsh. It was fantastic if you're English, and that Saka goal was an absolute joy to behold. It was something of beauty, unsavable. You couldn't defend it. It was just absolute joy, and what an important player he will be next summer for England. But Stuart Pearce has just said something which I think we all need to go back and check on. Tom Lockyer, I want to know what you made of Stuart Pearce just saying England have worked harder than Wales. Is it a fair point? And if it is a fair point, how on earth can that be the case?
I don't think it's a fair point, no. I'd actually disagree with that, because just purely on the fact that when England control the ball so easily and so much, I don't know what the possession stats are, when it then turns over, it's a lot easier to go and rat it back initially, and that's why they look so good. That being said, when you're Wales and you have to defend deep, and you're chasing shadows, because that is what they have done the whole half. It is then hard to try and, you know, work hard or look like you're working hard, but they are working hard, maybe just not running as hard on that initial turnover.
Well, the possession stats are 2/3 England, 1/3 Wales. If you look at the total touches inside the opposition box, Stuart Pearce, it says 5 for Wales, but 4 of those came in a flurry towards the end of the half when England gave the ball away on the edge of their own box. For most of that half, they had 1 touch in the opposition box. There's no attacking threat whatsoever from Wales. It's like a training exercise at times for England, isn't it?
I think it's honestly probably one of the easiest games they've played in. I always find a yardstick of how you're playing as a team is if the opposition are bearing down on your final third and you've got 3/4 players still up the pitch looking back at the goal, they're not working hard enough. For me, that's how I view things, and that's happened. Brennan Johnson's let the fullback go past on so many occasions. If I was Williams, I'd have him by the throat now and say, hey, get yourself back here and stay with the fullback, because I've seen England do it, and both Gordon and Saka have dropped back into a position where if they just glance to their right or left, they can see the fullback. So you can't get overloaded, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to work back into shape and get the shape and then play from there.
This isn't a game for the Welsh, for people who just want to run forward and not run back. And I would love to know what Craig Bellamy is saying in that changing room right now, because ever from the get-go he said, if you don't want to run and you don't want to work hard, and I assume he means forward and back, then you're not going to play in this team. And Stuart's right, we've seen people running forward who haven't then ran back. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he's got anyone by the throat in there.
Yeah, Brennan Johnson is an interesting one, because you're talking about a winner here, Tom. You're talking about somebody who's a Premier League footballer who's contributed to Spurs' success last season. He scored the winning goal in the final for him, so he knows the application needed to be a top-level professional footballer. And believe me, on social media, it's being noticed that Brennan Johnson is not running back and helping out his teammates. So, I mean, he's got to drag him off, surely. That's the only way. He can't get caught up in a big fist fight in the dressing room at half-time when they're 3-0 down, the manager.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in there at the minute. That being said, I think Stuart's right. If I'm Nico Williams, I'm absolutely raging. Like, there's no way you're going to leave me. Not only 1v1, but he's had 2v1s against him at times as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a long night for Nico if that carries on. Whether he gives him time to rectify it, or whether this changes how he looks at Belgium now. It has really been that sort of game at the minute. That being said, take the 2 set pieces away and it's 1-0 and it doesn't look as bad, but the game does look bad.
Yeah, come on. I love the positivity you've tried to spin.
I think
there.
as well, we've got to put a slant on what England have done. England have utilised the space they've been given. They've also got the ability to bring Rashford off the bench and Eze, who will thrive in this amount of space if this continues in the second half. The power of England at the moment as well, and let's not lose track of this. Madueke was our best player last month. He's injured and Saka comes in, and all of a sudden you think, wow, an embarrassment of riches is incredible.
And by the way, what a goal from Bukayo Saka. That's special, isn't it?
One of the best I've seen. Honestly, it was brilliant. When he received the ball out there, sometimes you try to read the game and you think he's going to come inside. Is he going to feather a little cross into the far post? And he had one thing on his mind. He used both defenders to fade that ball around. It's like as a defender you try to get in line with the ball, but you can't do anything about that. The curl was brilliant. Darlow, you can't get anywhere near that. I thought it was a wonderful goal.
Well, you were a left back, Stu. I mean, is there anything, you can't attach any blame to De Silva there, can you?
No, you can't do anything about that, to be honest with you. The only thing you can do is stop him receiving the ball in the first place.
Indeed, England have been cruising, maybe a bit too much, because the last 15 minutes or so of the first half made some sloppy errors after Jordan Pickford got bored and decided to give Wales a bit of a chance. But it's 3-0, it's comfortable, and Thomas Tuchel looked happy going down the tunnel at half time. You listen to kick-off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes, 18+, begambleaware.org. Let's get half time from that crucial qualifier for Scotland. Paul Mitchell.
Scotland 0, Greece 0. Happiness in short supply in Hampden Park, probably best described as a tough watch. Scotland have offered very little. It's been a Greek stroll without a goal. Christopoulos with a low cross. Vangelis Pavlidis of Benfica after 7 minutes. An appalling miss just several yards out. How he didn't connect and put Greece one up, I don't even think he yet knows. An example of how poor Scotland have been. Well, they got a throw level with the 18-yard box of the Greeks with about 7 minutes to go in the half. They didn't even get the ball into the box. I'm not trying to be down on Scotland, I'm just being honest. Half time's been terrible. Scotland 0, Greece 0.
Honesty is what we want, mate. You've got to give it. Maybe better in the second half, but for England, so far, so very, very good. Rodgers, Watkins, Saka with the goals. And at half-time, live on TalkSport, it's England 3, Wales 0, with the second half to come.
Kick-off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. 18+ gambleaware.org.
The game every supercharged sporting Saturday on TalkSport with Travis Perkins. Make the warm-up a part of your weekly matchday ritual.
The game is underway.
And get an unrivaled preview of all the upcoming unmissable football action.
Absolutely first class.
With expert predictions, pitch-perfect analysis and a top-flight lineup of guests. Guaranteed. The warm-up with Max Rushton and Charlie Baker. Saturday morning from 9 on TalkSport with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade.
This is Josh. Josh is happy. He's just bought a brand spanking new TV. What he doesn't know is he could have bought a premium TV without spending a fortune. You see, Hisense's award-winning TVs come with premium features like Mini LED, Quantum Dot and Dolby Atmos, but don't cost the earth. Josh is sad. Sorry, Josh. Choose smarter. Choose Hisense. Rated 5-star for reliability by Which.
At Lidl, we value play that inspires little minds. It's why we've brought back our wooden toy event. Grab over 100 classic toys from $7.99, like our railway set or dressing table. Download Lidl Plus and save up to 20%. Lidl, more to value. 18+ GB only. Selected stores subject to availability. T's and C's apply. See lidl.co.uk/LPTV. Offer ends 15th of October.
We got gaming fans covered with tables and slots. Get free spins, bonus wins, and daily jackpots. Play blackjack and poker from the comfort of home. Hit a Vegas Casino with one tap of your phone. Sign up is easy on all your devices. Exclusive promotions and bet boosted prices. In the no punters are sharing this tip. Get the king of the app pack. TalkSport bet, it's a hit.
18 plus, gambleaware.org.
From the case files of Miss Maureen 118212, the case of the replacement rodent.
A woman called asking for the number of a pet shop. She needed a new hamster before her son returned from school. I didn't ask what happened to the original hamster. Best not to know some things.
Maureen
118212.
For directory inquiries, call Maureen on 118212. Calls cost $2.50 per call plus 75p a minute with a minimum 1 minute charge plus your phone company's access charge.
For a utility tool and a deal that sticks, get 3 tubes of Hippo Pro 3 for the price of 2. An adhesive, sealant and filler, all in 1 tube. It cures underwater, touch dries in just 12 minutes, sticks to virtually anything, and is now available with a 3 for 2 offer. That's serious sticking power at a seriously good price. Grab yours today at your local merchant, because with Hippo Pro 3, you can stick it good.
Whatever kind of football fan you are, TalkSport and the Coral Daily Download are here for it to celebrate the fans every day. Whether you're a front row seater or a prawn sandwich eater, a half-and-half scarf wearer or a lifelong faithful torchbearer, a retro shirt for every game or bare-chested, even in the rain. For all the latest news, reaction and odds this season, don't miss the Coral Daily Download every morning from 6 on TalkSport with Coral. We're here for the fans. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
The football animal is alive. Kick-off live on TalkSport.
How can a match with your neighbours ever be routine, even when, as tonight, it's a friendly, albeit one with the smallest of Fs? It's played back and a right-footed effort comes in. Perfect start for England. They're ahead inside 2.5 minutes. Gahey kept it alive, pulled it back for Morgan Rogers, who kept his nerve to siphon into the bottom left-hand corner. And it's played across the face of goal for Watkins, who cannot miss. And he's there to bundle it over the line and double England's advantage. Saka turning it onto his left foot. Oh, it's a beautiful goal.
And that is one of the best goals I have ever seen in this stadium. An incredible finish.
Yeah, 3-0 to England. All the England subs out there warming up. Rashford has been out warming up, doing some sprints. Miles Lewis-Skelly, Richie Eze, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. We could see some changes for England and for Wales at half-time. But let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
So England are 3-0 up, 10-3 for it to be 3-0 at full time. 12-5, England to win 4-0. England to win 5-0, 19-5. Wales to get one back. 3-1 scoreline at the end, 9-1. That's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18 plus, be gambleaware.org.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Now, Alan Brazil and Gabby Agbon-Lahore back on TalkSport Breakfast from 6 a.m. tomorrow, live from the Arnold Clark showroom in Glasgow. They'll be joined by 6-time Premier League winner and former England midfielder Nicky Butts, the former Everton, Rangers and Scotland captain David Weir, and former Scotland player Charlie Mulgrew as well. They'll be giving away a car on the show. That's from 6 a.m. live from Glasgow on TalkSport tomorrow. And don't forget to tune into tomorrow's TalkSport Daily Podcast. That'll be available tomorrow morning from where you get your podcast. Stuart, Jim and myself will be breaking down everything you need to know from this game between England and Wales. And you'll be hearing from Thomas Tuchel and some of the England stars post-match as well. You'll also be able to hear some of those interviews on the Sports Bar when we're done here at Wembley after 10 o'clock. And by the way, in case you missed it, today's episode with Ali McCoist and Andy Townsend of the TalkSport Daily Podcast focused on why it's so important to beat the home nations, be it in a friendly, a qualifier or a World Cup match. So give that a listen while you're at it too. Both episodes are available on all the usual podcast platforms. Tom Lockyer, we talked about all the England subs warming up, and I know you mentioned it in the first half about potential changes in terms of personnel. Is there a lot that Wales can do, or a lot that Bellamy would want to do? Is he just writing this off now?
No, I don't think he's writing it off. I think this is a matter of pride now. He'll be in there saying, right, let's have some desire. We got 7,000 Welsh fans in that corner who have come a long way to support us, and we've given them absolutely nothing to cheer about so far. So yeah, I think for me as well, is like, when you do get the ball, there's not enough angles for people to it's too easy at the minute to go back. Not enough people are like, give me the ball, because England are swarming them, and you're going to be receiving the ball with a player up your backside, so it's not going to be easy, and it's too easy at the minute for people to be hiding. And you want someone just say, give me the ball, like Joe Allen we've had in the past, who under any circumstances will take the ball under pressure and use it. It's too easy to go back at the minute, but I don't think that's the worst of Wales' problems at the minute.
No, and what we must bear in mind is the levels we're talking about here. So Dan James, Aaron Ramsey had to pull out. In came two Cardiff City youngsters. So they're both playing in League One, and this is what Craig Bellamy has got to pick from. So we've got to bear that in mind as well, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And if we're going to have it right, Wales got a population of 3 million, and we're in the capital here in London, and there's 9 million living in London. So there's 3 times the amount of people to choose from in London alone, let alone Wales. So yes, we're always going to be the underdog to our big brothers as such, but you know, we've always had pride, we've always had desire, we've always had fight, and I think the lack of that in that first half will be the worrying thing.
Players are out for the second half. England 3, Wales 0. Craig Bellamy said they'd die a slow death if they defended deep. He's decided not to defend at all, and Wales died a quick death instead here at Wembley. Second half with Tom Lockyer, Stuart Pearce and Jim Proudfoot.
And Ollie Watkins hasn't reappeared for the second half, Adrian, because of that collision with the post. Not taking any chances, Marcus Rashford has come on to replace him. Rashford, who started the first 2 games under Tuchel and also started against Andorra. He scored the 5th goal in Serbia from the penalty spot. And he has come on. Now it looks as though he's going to be playing on the left, and Anthony Gordon will be playing through the middle in the role that we often see him in for Newcastle United, or sporadically see him in for Newcastle, but certainly a role that he has played there. I think he started 3 in Newcastle's 7 games this season as a central striker. This is club teammate, former club teammate Elliot Anderson in possession. Long ball over the top. Rashford will chase that, and he's going to get there as well, down by the corner flag. Faced up by Nico Williams, the one Welshman on a yellow card so far. Pulls it back for Jed Spence, whose right-footed shot might have come close. Had Cullen not thrown his head into the line of fire, and he deflects away and out of play for an England throw. Here's Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, super raking ball there by Anderson. Set Rashford away, and he's a galloping runner, we know that. And Spence was trying to fade one in the far corner, similar to Saka, but good defending.
England have it again, but deeper over on the far touchline, which is the right hand side. England in all white shirts and shorts with dark blue shorts, and they're kicking from right to left. Rashford with a touch, goes back for his goalkeeper. Jordan Pickford will be hoping to break his own record by keeping a clean sheet in the second half tonight, and then getting through the opening 7 minutes of the match in Latvia without conceding on Tuesday, which will be a new all-time England record for a goalkeeper without conceding. Just a little stumble in possession there from John Stones, who received a routine pass, fell over it, was able to get back on his feet in time to play a subsequent safe ball, stop England getting caught in possession 10 yards outside their own penalty area. England lining up with Pickford in goal, Conser, Stones, Gahey and Spence. Anderson anchors the midfield in front of them. Saka and Rashford wide, Rice and Rodgers in the centre of midfield, and Anthony Gordon now playing through the middle. Ollie Watkins off. What did you make of Watkins' performance before the injury? Just get your thoughts on that in a moment. Sorry, Stu, as Rice picks it up on the left-hand side of the penalty area. He's pulled it back here for Rashford. Rashford darting through, showing the confidence born of that purple patch he's having for Barcelona at the moment. It was blocked, and then a free kick is given away for a foul on Nico Williams. What did you make of Ollie Watkins' first half performance?
I thought he had a really solid game. He was worth at least a 7 out of 10, I would have thought. Maybe even an 8 out of 10, Ollie Watkins. I'm not trying to guide Adrian at all with his marks later on.
I noticed that.
No, I thought he had a really solid performance. Got himself a goal as well. And was in and around any danger zones.
Johnson is flagged offside here, and it's a free kick to England. Wales lining up Darlow in goal, Williams, Roden, Ben Davies and De Silva, Ampadu and Cullen, Johnson and Brooks wide, Wilson pushing forward in support of Kiefer Moore up front. There's so much going on in the first half. We didn't get to the England trivia question, but I will tell you in a moment what it is. I'll give you 20 minutes or so to think about it. We'll canvass opinion, our esteemed colleagues, see if they can come up with the answers and go through the answers for you. About 20 minutes from time. The ball is with England's Elliot Anderson. Anderson putting too much on that, and he's going to drift out of play for a goal kick. So here is the question tonight. 9 of today's Wales side play their club football in England. But who are the 3 players in history to have been capped by England whilst playing their club football in Wales? So who are the 3 players that have been capped by England whilst playing their club football in Wales? As I say, we'll give you 15-20 minutes to think about it, and we'll see what the guys say. Sheehan Cullen with the ball forward. It's going to be brought down over on the far side of the England midfield by Anderson. We're back for Mark Gahey. Gahey to Stones. Stones 20 yards inside his own half. Rashford playing right on the shoulder of Nico Williams. In fact, he's in behind him, just waiting for the ball to be driven into space. England have it again, but much deeper. Gahey for Stones. Now for Anderson again, who can turn away. Go back for Gahey. Now down towards Spence. Gordon making an early run through the middle. Spencer's played the more conservative pass back for Mark Gahey instead. And now we go out towards Declan Rice. Rice sliding the ball forward into the path of Bukayo Saka. Saka almost able to play in. Ezri Konsa, who made a good run forward. He's got some backtracking to do now, though, as Wales bring it away with Ben Davies. And then Cullen's caught in possession, and Anthony Gordon's the beneficiary of that. And he's got Rashford in the middle waiting for the ball to be pulled back. It didn't get there thanks to some last-ditch defending. That means it's nothing more than a corner.
Yeah, I think we've just seen there the difference between the two sides. As I say, Wales good turnover of possession, but they never were ever comfortable on the ball, because England tracked back, ratted back, turned it over, and then when Gordon was attempting to find Rashford, correct ball but good defending.
And Tom Lockyer was a crucial block there by Joe Roden.
Yeah, it's almost a certain goal if that goes through his legs. It's a tap in at the far post for Rashford there, but it was Ben Davies coming out with the ball and he just had no options, so he had to go backwards again. Then Liam Cullen has no options, he ends up giving the ball away.
In comes the corner, played short into the feet of Anderson. Back out of that right hand side for Rice, who got himself back onside. Little reverse ball inside the penalty area, and the ball cannons back off the bar. England very close to scoring a fourth. Ball at the feet of Morgan Rogers. He just took a touch and then rifled it towards goal. And that bar away to our left hand side, still reverberating.
The room Rogers had there was incredible. Well worked corner by England. Looked as though, I think that might have been ruled offside if it stuck from Declan Rice's point of view, but the movement of Rogers, he just peeled off and created in the box just outside the 6-yard box, best part of 3 yards.
It's brilliant movement from Rogers, that is. As soon as Ben Davies leaves him to go and close down the ball on the edge of the box, he just peels off the side of him and ends up finding space in what was a very packed box. But that'll be another concern for Wales, another set piece that they've struggled from.
Now the ball has been driven through the midfield by Johnson, and he found his way through for Brooks. Try to get Wilson making a run in behind Jed Spence, but he put too much on the pass, and Jordan Pickford came out and made the save. So still England 3, Wales 0 here on TalkSport. Cody Gakpo scored the second for the Netherlands, who lead in Malta by 2 goals. Now the Pharaohs 3 up at home to Montenegro. Rice, ball inside the penalty area here from Rashford, but it was overhit and Saka couldn't control it. So very little chance. He had to stop his run very quickly, put the brakes on and flick a left foot out behind him, but couldn't bring it under control. It goes out of play for a throw that Wales will take. A reminder to catch the latest Daily Football Pod. Adrian Durham, myself and Stuart Pearce dissecting this England performance straight after the game. It's going to be out from 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Also a reminder that TalkSport's now on your smart TV, so just grab the app on Android TV and Google TV, or even on Prime Video. TalkSport live on your screen as well as your speakers. Our next live football comes from League One, an all-northwest clash between Stockport and Blackpool, with excellent Adam Bridge Saturday afternoon from 3, and that is live and exclusive to national radio on TalkSport 2 this Saturday. We're back in action Tuesday night, England in Riga. All the build-up starting at 7:45 kick-off, Latvia against England, and depending on what else happens that night, if Serbia don't win on Saturday, an England win in Latvia will be enough to cement qualification for the World Cup. Well, that game that Serbia are playing at home to Albania, but with injury and suspension worries as well. On Saturday, Serbia-Albania. Just to reiterate, if Serbia don't win that, England win in Latvia, we'll see them qualify with 2 games to spare. 3-0 up and coasting here. It was 3-0 when the sides last met here 5 years ago, almost to the day. Bukayo Saka made his debut for England that day. Goals from Calvert-Lewin, Cody and Ings, giving England a 3-0 win on that occasion. Wales have got it here with Kiefer Moore. And he works the ball out to the far touchline for Brooks. Back from him to De Silva. Now to Ethan Ampadu. Ampadu into the feet of Wilson and straight back again. And now to Joe Roden, to Davis behind him. And there's only one man behind him. That's Carl Darlow coming outside of his penalty area to bring it under control. Tom, are you surprised that no changes have been made? Yes, a very difficult balancing act for Craig Bellamy between making sure that this stays decent-ish and thinking about that game coming up on Monday night against Belgium, which clearly is the more significant of the two in terms of the future.
Yeah, I don't think the plan changes, does it? I would imagine the boys would have had a rocket at half time and, said, that's not acceptable, let's go and show what we're about. You've got 15 minutes or so. So, yeah, obviously Belgium is the main focus here, but you don't want to have your pants pulled down by your neighbours, do you? So, yeah, it's about pride now, and we've started the second half much better.
Ball in from Nico Williams inside the penalty area. Oh, Brooks with a volley that Pickford saved. Kiefer Moore trying to get to the follow-up, and his looping header just goes onto the roof of the net. That was Wales' best passage of play in the game by a street. Long ball in from the right-hand side, and Brooks unmarked coming in, and Pickford got a left foot to it, Tom, to be able to get it away.
Yeah, it's a great ball into the box, and it finds its way to the far post, and David Brooks on his left foot. We've seen him so many times over the years for Bournemouth and Wales, put this in the bottom corner into the net, and I have to say it's an absolutely fantastic save from Pickford. It hasn't just hit him, he's actually moved his knee down to get to that, and Kiefer Moore then can't get on the follow-up on target and ends up over the bar. But way better from Wales, and like I said just now, they've started the second half much better.
Yeah, it's certainly great ball in there, and Brooks, I don't know what more you can do at the far post there. He's got a really good contact on it, he's kept it nice and low, and Pickford's done well to get a solid knee behind it.
The play has stopped because John Stones has gone down with an injury, and that was picked up as Moore attacked the loose ball off Pickford, and there was a coming together between Stones and Kiefer Moore. Now John Stones is down receiving treatment. Play 56, England 3, Wales 0. Greece with a great opportunity at Hampden Park. Paul Mitchell.
Wow, Scotland are living dangerously here, Jim. Scotland 0, Greece 0, but again, Pavlidis was the man doing the set-up work. Georgios Maros had an opportunity from about 8 yards out on the angle, and he slashed the ball and sent it wide, and really poor effort. Bad news for Scotland, bad news for Brentford. Aaron Hickey is down, he's wearing a knee brace on the left knee. That's the knee he's injured. They're looking at perhaps stretching him off here at the moment, so a change going to come for Scotland. It's still not pretty for the Scots, but Greece haven't found the breakthrough. That's the only good thing. Scotland 0, Greece 0.
And they're getting no favours in Minsk, because the other game in that group, Group C, is currently Belarus 0, Denmark 4. Hoyland's got a couple of those. Patrick Dorgu, Manchester United, has scored as well. Denmark 4 up in Belarus. Scotland being held at home by Greece. So that group as things stand right now, Denmark 7, Scotland 5, Greece 4, Belarus none. The play resumes. Stones back on his feet. Patel TalkSport over the course of the week that he contemplated retiring from international football in general, because of the injuries that he had picked up over the course of last season. There were times that he couldn't see this day happening, but a year after last putting on an England shirt, he's back at the heart of the defence and back in possession here, 10 yards outside his own penalty area. He's gone to his left hand side. Declan Rice has got it now, back from him to Mark Gahey, who's got another couple of international assists to his name this evening. Ball played back by Stones to Pickford, now worked out towards the right hand side. Saka trying to turn his man, and he's got the run on Ben Davies. Davies quickly back goal side, can't prevent the ball being played forward towards Konsa. Cross comes Roden to sweep up and put it out of play for a throw.
Yeah, good defending there by Roden. He read the danger, and he had to be fair. Motored across and just got there before Konsa. If he hadn't have done that, England were bearing in on the far post.
3-0 to England. Throw taken short into the feet of Morgan Rogers. Back from him for Saka. Played just less than an hour. The 3-0 lead accrued inside the opening 20 minutes. Spence. Down for Marcus Rashford. Who scored that extraordinary goal in the game at St James's Park that we brought Newcastle Barcelona in the Champions League. Ball goes into the feet of Declan Rice. Play forward by Spence. Spence wiring into the first challenge, won it, then the second one, won that as well from Kiefer Moore, works it out towards Rogers. Rogers to Bukayo Saka, the angles tight, he wins the corner with a right-footed shot that is blocked away by the Silva.
Just looking down to our left there, we've got 5-6 subs just going through their paces at the moment at reasonably high tempo. I would suggest suggest they'll be coming on very, very shortly.
A crowd here with around 7,000 Welshmen swelling the numbers, just a little over 78,000 tonight. Most of them are happy. Corner to be taken on the England right hand side by Declan Rice. This could well be England's penultimate home match before the World Cup. So important, these games in front of their own support. They played very well this evening, much the best home performance under Thomas Tuchel. In comes the delivery, it's headed away by Roden. Comes back outside the box where Anderson just stoops and steers a little header into the path of Declan Rice again. Now comes down for Rashford. Rashford playing a little 1-2 with Bukayo Saka. Back for Spence. Spence to Declan Rice, has dropped that little bit deeper, the England skipper. Play forward by him for Anderson once more. Now Spence will come forward. Still space on the England left for Marcus Rashford. Better second half performance from Wales, as Tom Lockyer has been saying. They've come the closest to a goal in this second half. I think the Rogers effort that hit the bar at one end, and David Brooks forcing a fine save out of Pickford at the other. Now ball worked down the left-hand touchline for Saka, and Spence has been fouled. And it's a free kick that will be taken by England about 6 or 7 yards inside Wales territory. We'll hear from Stuart Pearce in a moment. Firstly though, here's the Welsh international defender Tom Lockyer.
Yeah, it's a much better second half for Wales. They've been managed to. The thing that sticks out for me actually is they're not just pressing aimlessly anymore. They're happier to sit a bit deeper in a bit more of a block and press when it's on to, instead of just running aimlessly at them, which we found out first half does not work against these players.
Here's Rice finding Anderson inside the penalty area. He forced to come back out for Jed Spence. Spence controlling it, lays it back for Declan Rice. Rice is 10 yards outside the box before playing it back for Stones. And now out towards Bukayo Saka again. Saka near the corner of the penalty area. Back from him to Konsa. Konsa flicking it forward, straight at David Brooks. Brooks controls it. Almost lost it on the edge of his own penalty area. And now the Welsh will work it forward with De Silva, but it's a long angle ball down the left-hand touchline. We're going to be seeing substitutions aplenty Chris Mepham is coming on very shortly. And we're also going to be seeing Capaccio, Sheehan and Jordan James. 4 changes for Wales are imminent. England with a free kick about 20 yards outside the Welsh penalty area, and a goal at Hampden Park for TalkSport's Paul Mitchell.
And it's a first international goal for Kostas Tsimikas, the defender from Roma. He's been romping into the box all evening. Lovely play on the right hand side. It felt him really can't finish for his first international goal. It's no more than the Greeks deserve. Scotland in trouble at home. Scotland 0, Greece 1.
That means that Scotland will fall to third in the group if it stays that way. It's Denmark 7, Greece 6, Scotland 4 and Belarus 0. And that will be a problem. The Welsh changes, the players coming off: Ampadu, Williams, Ben Davis and Harry Wilson, and they're going to be replaced by Mepham, Capaccio, Sheehan and Jordan James. Tom, what are your thoughts on that quartet of changes being made about 20 minutes into the second half?
Yeah, that makes sense. That's what we all expected, wasn't it? I think you can see, Ben Davis has not played any football this season, so you don't want to take any chances with him going late into the game. Ampadu just coming back from injury, and Sheehan coming on is a great replacement. Actually, he's very, very comfortable on the ball. He'll never shy away from getting on it, and maybe that's just what we need at the minute. Obviously, Roland Capaccio as well, young lad coming in from Cardiff City. He made his debut against Canada, and now he's got another great test now against Marcus Rashford. So this will be a good test for him.
Yeah, it's been a great rise for Roland Capaccio. Only made his league debut last November. He's only played 19 first-team games for Cardiff, but winning his second cap for his country tonight. And he's on a right back. A long diagonal ball swung by England's Mark Gahey out to Bukayo Saka. Faced up by De Silva. He's able to play it back for Consta. England have made just one change so far. Half-time, Rashford coming on for Ollie Watkins. Gahey back for Stones. Stones out to the England right-hand side again for Consta. Shown his versatility again tonight. We mentioned in the first half, Stu, that he's not seen very much action over the course of the last 12 months at right back. You'd never know it, just the way that he's slotted back in there to what can be a problem for position for England. No Livramento or James through injury at the moment. England bring it forward here. Rice trying to attack a high ball played inside the penalty area, but Roden heads it away. It's brought down by Anderson under pressure from Kiefer Moore, and he's just breezed past him and Brooks. Ball back out of the edge of the penalty area where Gordon takes over. Anderson just given a little shove in the back as he plays it back for Konsa, who then exchanges passes with Gordon. And he goes back out to Anthony Gordon again, level with the edge of the Welsh penalty area. Anderson into the feet of Saka. Saka taking a touch and then clipping one down to Rashford. Rashford's got Spence on the overlap. Rashford turns, volleys it inside the penalty area, and it's whacked away by Joe Roden.
Yeah, England finding it more difficult breaking down now because the likes of Johnson and Brooks on the other side have just dropped that little bit deeper and just getting goal side.
Now the VAR is having a look at another goal at Hampden Park. Paul Mitchell.
Well, at the moment it's Scotland 1, Greece 1. Ryan Christie scoring 2 minutes after Scotland fell behind, but there is a goal check. VAR are looking at the part played, I think, by Shea Adams, who was right in between the central defenders. It was Mavropanos who headed the ball away, but he was under pressure. The ball fell to Ryan Christie about 8 yards out, and Christie drilled the ball into the back of net. This goal check is taking some time, Jim, but at the moment it's one apiece, but we await what VAR are going to tell us.
Paul, thanks. We'll be back with you. England are going to be making some changes in a moment. First of all, though, they've won a corner, which is their 7th without reply tonight. And Declan Rice comes across to this near touchline, pick up the ball and take the acclaim of the England supporters as he just bends down in front of the electronic hoardings, kicks the ball back down towards the corner flag, the white flag on the pole, standing lifelessly at the moment. No breeze to be had on a unseasonably warm night here in North London. In comes Rice's delivery, swung in towards the back post, headed down by John Stones, but there was a push before Stones got his head to it, and it's a free kick to Wales. Faroes 4, Montenegro 0. That's got to be just about the best result in their history. Probably too little too late in that group, but it will take them within 3 points or 4 points of the top of the group if it still stays 0-0 between the Czechs and Croatia as it is at the moment. Faroes 4, Montenegro 0. This one 3-0 to England. Rodgers on 3 minutes, Watkins on 11. 9 minutes later, Saka made it 3 with the goal of the night. England's changes are imminent. Jordan Henderson is going to be coming on. We're going to be seeing Loftus-Cheek and Gibbs-White, and also Jared Bowen as well. Ball is back with Jordan Pickford. Pickford brings it outside the penalty area and then hits one of those relatively low balls driven out towards the far side, but he's missed Saka and he goes out of play. So here come the changes. One man I want to feature on, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He's on for his 11th cap, Stu, but he hasn't played in any of England's last 84 internationals. He was last capped against the United States back in 2018. Well, Thomas Tuchel knows, and he's going to be amongst those coming on now. Great for Loftus-Cheek back after 7 years in the international wilderness.
It just shows that if you keep at it, your time will come again if you're playing well enough. He's got a great opportunity here.
And so the changes being made. Rodgers coming off. Now we're going to see Anderson off. Declan Rice is coming off, and so too Bukayo Saka. So of the front 6 players that started for England, only Anthony Gordon is still on. Jordan Henderson coming on. He will anchor the midfield in Anderson's position. Another good night for Elliot Anderson in an England shirt.
I think he's been outstanding this evening, I've got to say. Very impressive, and he allows Declan to get forward. I think he's enjoyed his work tonight.
Elliot Anderson has been absolutely magnificent tonight. For me, he's been head and shoulders the best player on the park, and he might not get the plaudits he deserves just because, you know, he hasn't put one in the top bins like Bukayo Saka, but he has got a massive future ahead of him, club and country.
Hard to think that he's got so few miles on the clock in the grand scheme of things. It's only his 3rd international appearance tonight, Elliot Anderson. I talked earlier about the likelies, those that possibles and probables in Thomas Tuchel's squad. Anderson's a definite. Should he stay fit, he will definitely be going to the United States. Stones playing the ball forward. And England will work it back towards Margaihi. First touch of Ruben Loftus-Cheek in an England shirt for all that time, just finding his centre half. Ball now played through the midfield towards Stones. So Jared Bowen on the right hand side, Loftus-Cheek in midfield, Gordon still playing through the middle, Rashford on the left, but he can't find a way past the young right back Capaccio. And as he makes his way forward, he's fouled by the retreating Margaihi, and a yellow card is shown. Was it Spence actually that was the perpetrator of the challenge? It was. So Spence, the man that goes in the book.
I was just thinking who hasn't been brought onto the pitch, which surprised me a little bit. Ezra has not been brought on, which is my thought process would be that he would have flourished and give us a bit of a lift when the game's gone quiet from England's point of view.
Well, all 5 changes have been made. He won't get the opportunity to come on. Now that Scotland goal incidentally stood. So it is 1-1. Ryan Christie's equaliser. Scotland at home to Greece. In comes this Wales free kick. Brooks too high for more. Good save from Pickford. Threw a left fist at it and was able to beat the second header away. Another shot comes in from the edge of the penalty area. That's blocked. Brooks improvising. Tries to play it through the penalty area and can't. And Jordan Pickford's long, impressive record at the back continues with another fine save. Really well struck. And it was a fine save to deny Chris Mepham. Just threw up a left hand and stopped the header going in top.
Yeah, it's a great set piece, and once again a Wales player finds himself free at the back post. This time it's Chris Mepham who gets his header back on target and back across Jordan Pickford, and I think he almost reads it, and it's quite a routine save in the end. But obviously, he's not had much to do, so he's made a dive out of it as well.
I must say, Jim, whilst England have played well tonight and the scoreline's pleasing, there's a couple of times when the ball's gone in the box, in both halves, to be fair, not just that one, that I'm thinking that this doesn't look particularly pleasant on the eye, I've got to say.
Here's Jarrod Bowen coming forward for England, who lead by 3 goals to 0. Bowen 10 yards outside the penalty area. Now Stones just side-footing it forward. Gordon with a little give and go, trying to get Bowen in, couldn't do so. Loftus-Cheek is in there, snapping around, trying to make something happen. Wales clear, nearly get to halfway. England win it back again with Spence. 2 England players booked. Mark Gahey's also had his name taken. Ball goes out to the England right-hand side. Bowen playing it round the corner for the run of Morgan Gibbs-White. Back it goes for Stones. Gordon drops off. And wants the ball in defeat. Plays it back out for Jordan Henderson. Now back out for Bowen again. Gibbs-White. Bowen trying to bulldoze his way through the penalty area. Brooks took his time in getting it away, and that meant that Anthony Gordon could seize possession, albeit in a wider position. England go back once more for John Stones. 3-0 they lead here on TalkSport. And your reaction on the sports bar at the end of this game is going to be fascinating. We'll also hear all the reaction from the headline makers and from Thomas Tuchel as well. The ball comes in here from Rashford, and Gordon takes a tumble inside the box. The VAR will have had no more than a cursory glance at that. Play continues. Carl Darlow with the ball at his feet inside his own penalty area, playing out towards Mepham. Denmark 5 up in Belarus, and England again still snaffling away, trying to win possession back with a high press around the edge of the box through Ruben Loftus-Cheek. The substitutions have clearly made a difference, but there's been a good energy about England.
Yeah, as I say, there's players that know that when they come on, they've got to have impact, otherwise they might suffer either more time on the bench or, even worse, not being picked in the squad.
Wales will make their final changes now, numbers 5 and 6. We're going to see Kumas and Harris come on, Johnson and Moore, the players that will be coming off. Mark Harris, who hasn't scored in his last 19 games for Oxford, hoping as he leads the line for the time that remains that he might be able to break his international duck. And Lewis Kumas is on loan at Birmingham from Liverpool. His father also played in a Wales-England game back in the day, Jason. And Kumas Jr. is on for the time that remains as well. 15 minutes to go. Give you the answer to the trivia question very shortly. Not the hardest one tonight. I think we've got a full house in the box here. I'm not sure. I'll give you the question again and the answer in a few moments' time. Austria 8, San Marino 0. Back to Hampden Park shortly as well. Wales, they're bringing it forward with Mepham. Mepham's ball into Jordan James. Now Wales will be able to work it forward. It's a better ball into the feet of Mark Harris, down towards the Welsh right-hand side. Brooks, and then the header just over the bar. Harris coming to meet it. Brooks with a great piece of improvisation, scooping it in with the outside of his left boot. Harris threw himself at it, beat Pickford to it, but his header went just over the bar.
I've got to say, that's one of the best passes I've seen all night. It was magnificent, that cross by Brooks.
Yeah, and I've seen him do that at Bournemouth. That's something he can do. He can do with his eyes closed. He's a special talent. He really is. And Harris gets half a yard in the box, but I do think he pushed John Stones in the back, and I did see the referee acknowledge it. So if it had gone in, I'm not sure it would have counted.
And still, Wales look for their first goal here at Wembley since Ian Rush scored it in 1983. He is here today, the former Liverpool striker. And Wales, in fact, haven't scored in any of their last 10 away friendlies. That's a run that stretches back to a Sam Vokes goal in Montenegro back in 2009. Back in the days when goals against Montenegro meant something, which doesn't look as though they really do tonight, if not from the Faroe Islands. Mepham able to play it out towards the left-hand side for De Silva. De Silva's ball towards the edge of the centre circle is picked up by Harris. The Oxford man has just dropped that little bit deeper and lays it back for Sheehan. And then the two Welsh centre halves exchange passes again. Now let's have another look at that trivia question. I mentioned that 9 of today's Wales side starting 11 play their club football in England. We asked you who the 3 players in history are to have been capped by England whilst playing their club football in Wales. Well, I think the boys have got 2 of them between them. Jay Bothroyd, who was at Cardiff back in 2010, and John Joe Shelvey, who was playing for Swansea in 2015. The other one, actually the most recent of the 3, Tammy Abraham, who was also on loan at Swansea from Cardiff when he won his first England cap. So Bothroyd, Shelvey and Abraham the answer tonight. Very well done if you got them all. Here's De Silva working forward towards Jordan James on the Welsh left, and he's done well with good persistence, getting it down to the left-hand touchline for Lewis Kumas, but I think the ball's just gone out, and it's going to be a throw that will be taken on the England right, and England's final change is imminent as well. We're not going to see Eze. It is going to be Miles Lewis Skelly. He will come on for Stones, which you would imagine will see Spence go from left back to right back, Lewis Skelly on at left back, and Konsa will move into the middle.
Sensible, I think. I like the pairing of Stones and Gahey, I really do. And John Stones certainly had a decent game tonight, just saving those legs again.
So Stones will come off, Lewis Skelly will come on. That is the final change. England 6. And Lewis Skelly getting the opportunity to come on, scored on his debut against Albania. 15th 18-year-old to play for England in the 21st century, which is some record over 25 years that there have been 15 18-year-olds playing for England in that time. He's recently turned 19 and he's on for his 5th cap and will get 10 minutes or so here, and has come on, as was always going to be the case, at left back, and England have reshuffled the pack defensively accordingly. That Konsa's in a more central role, and he drives it forward from there now. Ball brought down by Jarrod Bowen. Bowen has got Gordon making a good run to his left-hand side. He's played him in. It's Gordon from a tight angle, and it's another magnificent block from Roden. He's had a great game latterly at the heart of the Welsh defence. He's been involved in a number of important defensive contributions, and that was a goal-saving challenge.
Yeah, he can shift the boy. That's twice he's used his pace there, and for everyone in the stadium, it looked like Gordon was in, because Gordon can move as well, and out of nowhere Joe Roden came sliding in, and he's been having a great season at Leeds United, and he's looked incredible again tonight.
England leading by 3 goals to 0. Another goal at Hampden Park. Which way, Paul Mitchell?
And it's come for the home team. Scotland 2, Greece 1. Scotland have come from behind, and it's Bologna's Lewis Ferguson who takes the chance. Free kick played into the box, it bounced about, and Lewis Ferguson 5 yards out struck the ball high into the net. What a night for Scotland. They've been poor, but they lead. Scotland 2, Greece 1.
And the other game in that group now 6-0 to Denmark away to Belarus, but Scotland will still be level on points with them at the end of the night if it stays that way. Here's Gordon, and he couldn't quite work the angle. Turned it onto his right foot, and he aimed for the top right-hand corner. Didn't hit it too hard, and it was dipping and dipping, but it just didn't quite dip in time to find either the goal or the head of the onrushing Bowen.
Far too easy to break in on this right-hand side, but when he did, great 1-2, he went with purpose. Little give and go, and when the goal opened up, I don't think he had the angle, because Roden had narrowed it off.
Has only scored the 1 goal for England so far, Anthony Gordon, which came against Ireland last November. That's part of what is now England's best goal-scoring run for many years. They've scored in a 17th successive international here this evening, which is their longest run since the 1991 season, a run that was ultimately ended by Germany in 1991. 17 successive games in which they found the net. The ball is with De Silva, now down to the right hand side for Kapakia. David Brooks turning in off that right flank. Getting possession again about 20 yards outside the England penalty area. Nice little over. Jordan James trying to come onto that after it was deliberately left by Harris. England get it away, but Kubas has won it back and has won Wales' first corner of the night on the left-hand side.
Well, we struggled all night defending corners, so let's see whether we can do something attacking one. And it was good play from David Brooks again, playing his pass inside, and it ends up in a Wales corner. And Brooksy goes over there now in front of the Wales fans. Hopefully he can put one into the danger zone, and we can get one back. Would be nice.
So Pickford waiting. He's got a couple of red shirts right in front of him in that near post area. Kubas has just made his way behind Pickford now. It's an out-swinging delivery which comes off the top of Rodon's head and drifts innocuously wide. Straight out of play for a goal kick that Jordan Pickford will take. We've got 7 minutes to go. It's been 3-0 for an hour. England 3, Wales 0. Austria hit double figures. Marko Arnautovic front and centre in that. Has got a hat-trick, including 2 in the space of 60 seconds. Austria 10, San Marino 0, with 6 minutes left in that game. Scotland leading 2-1. England leading Wales by 3 goals to 0. Gordon plays the ball forward out to the England right-hand side for Jed Spence. Spence shown inside over on that far touchline. Able to try and get it away from De Silva. Got it again on halfway. Now plays it even further back towards the edge of his own penalty area. Pickford will take a touch, then take another. They're preparing to launch it forward. Finds Mark Gahey instead. Gahey taking a touch, going out of the right-hand side. And England, to an extent, just going through the motions laterally. There's still a better energy about them than in the days of wholesale paper aeroplanes being thrown onto the pitch at this stage of the game, which we've all seen many times in the past. There is the detritus of a few bored supporters just littering the playing surface, but England can work it out towards the right once more here for Jared Bowen. Taking a touch, going back through the midfield again. Konsa on the edge of the centre circle, into the feet of Jordan Henderson. Don't know that Jordan Henderson's going to start many more games for England, but absolutely integral part of Thomas Tuchel's squad. Harry Kane talked about that this week and the influence that he has behind the scenes. It's his 86th cap for his country tonight. Bowen trying to make life difficult, but Mepham can clear, and then as it's just worked outside the box, England have given another free kick away. 5 to go, England 3, Wales 0 here on TalkSport.
Yeah, it really has been a sort of game of two halves, if you like. England very, very good in the first half. Maybe their work was done at that stage at half-time, not at the same intensity. But saying that, the Welsh have defended better, their wide players have tucked in slightly deeper, and England have found it more difficult to break them down.
Yeah, it's been a very effective exercise in damage limitation, Tom, in this second half.
Yeah, I think we learn a lot from this one. I think you have to show respect to the top teams, especially when you go away from home, to go out and try and press them like that. Like we did in the first half, it can punish you, it really can. So the second half is a lot better. We've sat a lot deeper and almost blocked up to a mid-block, low block, and it's a lot harder for England to break us down.
Loftus-Cheek to Rashford, and out to the England right-hand side here for Jared Bowen. Played back by him inside the penalty area, where Spence's touch wasn't all that it might have been. Gibbs wide over on the far touchline, doing his best to regain possession. But his touch has actually just slid it over the line and out of play for a Welsh throw. 3-0 to England. And from 10 o'clock tonight, Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara will be opening up the sports bar, give you your chance to have your say. Jason's probably just loosening his tonsils as we speak. The Faker Others also bring you all the live reaction from Thomas Tuchel and England's headline makers, so don't go anywhere. You can book your call now, 08717 223344, the number to call for the sports bar here on TalkSport. And don't forget, more reaction tomorrow morning to everything that has happened at Wembley and at Hampden Park tonight on the Sports Breakfast. Alan Brazil, live from Glasgow at 6 o'clock tomorrow. There's a little asterisk by that after a Scotland potential win in Hampden Park tonight. But we'll find out together. And Dean Saunders will be giving you his thoughts amongst the guests tomorrow. Nicky Butt also with the boys tomorrow. Brazil and Ray Parler on the TalkSport Breakfast tomorrow morning. Wales in possession. We've got 2 minutes to go. Inside the centre circle, Chris Meppen comes forward over halfway, gets it away from Gibbs White. Thomas Tuchel not happy at the way that Wales were just able to make easy progress through the midfield there. Still very high exacting standards even when the win is long since been assured. Meppen to his right to Rote. Brooks just flights another ball forward. Pickford will come out and take it. The bounce was kind, and then having brought it down, he just bowls it out for Jordan Henderson, and he can quickly cover 40 or 50 yards before laying it forward towards Jarrod Bowen. Bowen to Gibbs White, and then back for Spence. Spence's ball forward up the right hand side, trying to get Bowen in behind Mepham, and Wales are going to be able to get it away.
Well cut out there in the back, and to be fair, England haven't really threatened the Welsh. I've got to say, they defended so much better this second half and worked that little bit harder, and England have found it very difficult. They've dropped off the pace slightly. Some credit has got to go to the Welsh for that.
Does that concern you from an England perspective? Is it difficult, bearing in mind that they had a commanding lead very early on, just to be able to keep going all the way through when there's no jeopardy?
Well, it does concern me. I've seen a couple of issues when that ball's been in and around our box where no one's taken sort of charge of situations, and you know full well when push comes to shove in the games that really count, that could be costly to you. Pickford's made a couple of good saves in the game that we dominated. Pickford's had to make 2 very good saves as well.
Wales get it forward through the midfield with Sheehan finding James. Now to Kumas on the Welsh left as we go to 3 minutes of added time here at Wembley. 3-0 the score, and Kumas wins another corner to Wales, their second of the night, which will be taken over on the far touchline. Another chance, Tom, for a Welsh consolation.
Yeah, and like Stuart said, I think the game's just really petered out now. The intensity's been zapped from the game. Both teams are respecting each other when they've got the ball, so a lot of men behind the ball, which make it difficult. But Brooks has gone over again to take this in front of the Welsh faithful, and let's hope we can send them home with a goal, which would be really, really nice.
Well, the Pharaohs have beaten Montenegro 4-0, the other game in that group. The Czechs against Croatia has finished 0-0. In comes the corner from Jordan James towards the far post. It's headed down. England trying to get it away with Spence's challenge, but the referee has spotted the ball hitting an arm of a Welsh player, and it's a free kick to England inside their box. What's your main takeaway then, Tom? What's been the most positive aspect? Let's look at a glass being half full. What's been the most positive aspect that you can take into the Belgian game on Monday?
I think the positives will be that there's a lot to learn. There's a lot that we can debrief and take from this. Set pieces being a big one. We've looked vulnerable every set piece, conceded 2, could have potentially conceded more. I think we'd have learned that you cannot go away from home against these top teams and just go out and press them. You have to do it from a shape. You have to do it from a block, and there's nothing wrong with respecting these top teams, and that's exactly what England are. But I think it could have been in the first half, if England really did want to go for the jugular, it could have been 4 or 5, and I think that is a positive as well, that we didn't collapse.
Well, Wales' last game against top 10 opposition ended up in a 2-1 victory against Croatia a couple of years ago this week. Tonight, they've, truth be told, known their fate since the 20-minute mark. England 3 up at that stage, and still 3 up now with just a minute or so of stoppage time to go. Ball play forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Coming onto it is Rashford, who's got the ball at his feet, but whistle's gone. The Swiss referee said that Anthony Gordon handled it under pressure, but it was a handball, and it was Jarrod Bowen, and it's a free kick that is given Wales way on the edge of their own box.
Bowen's complaining that he was taken under it by the Welsh defender. Certainly his hand though.
So Wales getting it forward with Mepham. Mepham's ball out towards De Silva, back for Mepham again. One last Welsh attack. Jordan Pickford coming to the right hand side of his penalty area will clear, and that will cement his 8th successive clean sheet. Pavlidis winner at Wembley, the last time that he's been beaten in an England shirt. He's only 7 minutes away from breaking his own international record. Full time, and it's another win for England against Wales. Same story that it has been every time these two have met since 1984. England racing into a fabulous 3-0 lead with goals from Rodgers, Watkins and Saka inside the opening 20 minutes. Wales much better in the second half than they were in the first. Pickford's 8th clean sheet only coming after a couple of impressive saves, but Belgrade was brilliant. It hasn't been too bad tonight here at Wembley either, and the feeling remains that England are certainly moving in the right direction. They've beaten Wales tonight by 3-0.
Comfortable from the 20th minute onwards, comfortable from the 3rd minute onwards really for England, and maybe just a little bit too comfortable. I do wonder what Thomas Tuchel will make of the rest of the game after they were 3 up inside 20 minutes. I wonder what he'll tell our England correspondent Faye Carruthers when she talks to him very shortly. We'll either get that reaction from Thomas Tuchel from the England camp and from the Wales camp as well in this show, or on Sports Bar, which is coming up after 10 o'clock on TalkSport. 03717 223344. Before we reflect on England's 3-0 win, let's check in what's happened at Scotland. Paul Mitchell.
Scotland will take all 3 points because they've scored again. Scotland 3, Greece 1, and Kristanis Solakis, I have no idea what he was doing in goal. He slid, the ball was going to go out, I think for a corner. He slid, and rather than holding on to the ball, he pushed it out straight into the path of Lyndon Dykes, who hammered it high into the net. What a strange old game this is. Scotland are going to get 3 points. Scotland 3, Greece 1 at Hampden.
Well, they were losing and they're going to win it, and what a vital 3 points that is. That will give them a 4 points cushion between them and Greece in Group C of qualifying. Could be a massive victory for Scotland tonight. This one here at Wembley, a friendly. Stuart Pearce, and there's lots of positives for England, not least that they scored 3 goals. They had the game won early on, were very comfortable with that as well. But I think some things that Thomas Tuchel will need to address, and there's nothing wrong with that this far out from a World Cup. In some ways it's probably better for him to address any issues rather than going on and winning 6 or 7-0 against a team that's got bigger fish to fry next week. Yeah,
we've come out of blocks and ended up getting a lead that finished the game, to be honest with you. Second half I was a little bit disappointed with some of the balls in the box, that we didn't get solid clearances and first contacts, which I always think, I store that up and think this could be trouble going ahead in the future against better sides. But I think overall a building block on last month's 2 victories. Thomas will be pleased with that. You take all the positives out of it and we move on to a qualifier.
Yeah, Tuesday in Riga against Latvia, when, depending what happens elsewhere, it could be a game which sees England cement and guarantee qualification for the World Cup finals next summer in Mexico, Canada and the USA. And Tom Lockyer, Wales international, is with us as well. Has been with us all evening for TalkSport. I think, yes, there'd be disappointment. I think that England, from an England fans' point of view, that they didn't go on and hammer home the advantage, get 5 or 6 or maybe even more. But actually, Wales deserves some credit for that second half. So we were wondering what Craig Bellamy was saying at half-time. It feels to me like it was all calm and measured from Craig Bellamy, because they came out clear-minded in the second half.
Yeah, I think they tweaked it a little bit and realised that you just can't go pressing these elite players. And people like John Stones so comfortable on the ball, Declan Rice so comfortable on the ball, massive pitch at Wembley, you will get picked off and they will go through and be at your back line. So look, it's a learning curve. I think one of these every now and again, especially in the friendly, is not the end of the world, is actually really good to learn from. You probably learn more from these than you would against your 1-0s away to Kazakhstan or whatever it is. So these are the games we want to be playing. These are the games that we're gonna face if we are going to go deep into a competition, which is everyone's dream. But just look at the Wales fans opposite us now. They're there, they're proud, they're loud, they're clapping the boys off. Yes, it's not the result or the performance. It's probably one of the worst performances under Craig Bellamy that I've seen. However, they can see what he's trying to do. He can see the change from the last regime, just how much they've improved as a team, and they're buying into the journey that Craig's delivering for us. So look, this isn't the end of the world. Yes, it's not ideal. Full focus goes on to Belgium on Monday night, and there's a lot to learn from this, which we will get better from.
Well, I think the Wales fans, they stayed noisy all the way through the second half, and actually they were my Wales man of the match, by the way, the marks out of 10, the Welsh fans. I thought they were superb. But they had something to shout about, because your team could have capitulated. They could have just rolled over. Craig Bellamy could have made some changes to save players for Monday's big game in Cardiff and really weakened the team and allowed England to absolutely punish them. But they saw a bit of fight from their team, and I think when you're going to lose a game, and Wales will lose some games, I think that you want to see that fight. You want to see that kind of never say die. Listen, we're not going to roll over here. We are going to give it some battle.
Yeah, and that's the Welsh War for you. They've been fantastic for the last decade and more. So they're a big part of everything we do in Wales, and there's a great rapport between players and the fans. So yeah, it's massive. You never want to send them home disappointed, but like I said, they believe in the journey. I think the biggest thing for Craig, probably first half, would probably be that lack of fight shown. So that would be a slight concern, but you have to give credit to England. They were full throttle from the get-go, didn't allow us to breathe, cut off all the options, forced us long into their hands, and and on turnovers they were deadly as well. And when you've got someone like Bukayo Saka who can put one in the top stanchion from cutting in on his left-hand side, you're going to be up against it. But look, like I said, there's a lot to be positive about, and there's a lot to learn, more importantly. And I think Craig will take a lot of positives from it, from the fact that there will be clips, there will be data to use going forward.
Stuart, you worked with Craig Bellamy in the GB Olympics, 13 years ago I think it was now, something like that. Gosh, we're getting old, aren't we? Well, you are. I'm wondering how he's feeling, because he did clearly say, we heard the clip of him beforehand saying, you can't defend deep against England, otherwise you die a slow death. And they've just allowed England to walk or run all over them in the first 20 minutes of the game. Is this a bit of an education for Craig Bellamy?
I think in the first half they got caught between two stools, maybe those comments of, let's take the game to them, let's try and squeeze on and press from the front. You have to do that as a collective. I don't think they did. I think maybe the front four attempted to go and put some pressure on England, but never really panicked them, and they just drew the likes of the wide players on, namely Brennan Johnson, and just slid it past him, and all of a sudden then you've got the wide open spaces to play in. So I think they got caught between two stools. Second half, totally different. And we had Brennan Johnson playing right in front of us. His position was that much deeper. He didn't go chasing Gahey and get picked off. And England found it quite difficult to break through.
And I think I was thinking Brennan Johnson might be taken off at half-time. And he wasn't. He stayed out there. He got taken off for 15 minutes or so to go. And it was almost like Craig Bellamy was saying, look, you got a chance to redeem yourself. Do what I tell you to do in this second half, and let's take it from there. And as Stuart said, he actually did a much better job helping out his teammate.
Yeah, and I agree with Stuart as well. They were probably almost caught in between two different, but the front four wanted to press, and I believe Wales did want to press, but it's just so hard when England can create overloads all around the pitch. So it was the front four were getting played around, looking behind them and seeing no midfield and no defenders for the next 50 yards and thinking, why am I pressing? And then he's not running back because he's got the ump or whatever, and then it looks bad. So yeah, I don't believe he just doesn't want to run back. I think a lot of things go into it, but it certainly didn't look good. But second half it was a lot better. He didn't go chasing willy-nilly and stayed in a shape and pressed only when it was on. And like Stuart said, it was a lot harder for England to play through and play around. And
if we look back at that Serbia game, Stuart, and also if we look at the first 20 minutes here, England were absolutely fantastic. Right, let's get back down to the tunnel. TalkSport's Faker Others is down there. Oh, sorry, we'll go to Faye very shortly. Let's get full time, though. The whistle has gone at Hampden at Scotland. Paul Mitchell.
Scotland 3, Greece 1. A come from behind win after Kostas Tsimikas put Greece deservedly ahead. We'll wonder how it took them so long to score. 62 minutes they dominated. Scotland threw a switch and the game changed. Ryan Christie equalised 2 minutes later. Lewis Ferguson pounced to fire Scotland ahead on 18 minutes. Both goals similar quick finishes after clearances. A great stoppage time save by Angus Gunn allowed Scotland to go to the other end, and then Greek keeper Solakis gifted the ball to Lyndon Dykes as he was trying to stop conceding a corner, and Dykes finished with aplomb. Scotland get the 3 points. They didn't play very well, certainly not for the first 60 minutes or so, but they've won it here. Scotland 3, Greece 1.
And Denmark winning 6-0 in Belarus, also in Group C. Leaves Group C like this: Denmark with 7 from 3, Scotland with 7 from 3, and Greece with 3 from 3. Belarus yet to get off the mark. So, crucial win for Scotland at Hampden Park tonight, and there's more to come as well as far as Scotland are concerned. They're home to Belarus. And looking at the table, that should be a win for Scotland. That's a 5 p.m. kickoff on Sunday afternoon. We'll keep you across that on TalkSport, of course. But Scotland coming from behind to beat Greece tonight. We are going to hear from the England camp very shortly. Let me tell you, when we're talking about Scotland, Alan Brazil and Gabby Agbonhall back on TalkSport Breakfast from 6 a.m. tomorrow, live from the Arnold Clark showroom in Glasgow. They'll be joined by 6-time Premier League winner and former England midfielder Nicky Butt. The ex-Everton Rangers and Scotland captain David Weir will be on the show as well, and the former Scotland player Charlie Mulgrew will also be with them. And they're giving away a car on the show. So that's a cracking show in store. 6 a.m. live from Glasgow on TalkSport tomorrow morning with Alan Brazil and Gabby Agbonlahor. Stuart Pearce, England have just been very good against Serbia. First 20 minutes, half an hour, first half here. They were excellent, and it shows what they can do. They can be brilliant.
Well, there's enough talent in this squad to be brilliant on their day. There's no doubt about that. You know, I think the last 3 games I've been quite buoyed up by. I know the criticism come from the Andorra game, but I've got to give credit to Andorra. I thought they were outstanding defensively, as I said. And then since then, we've been pretty free scoring, not conceded a goal. Maybe the odd question mark sometimes in our defensive work in and around the box. It looks a little bit harem-scarum, but something to build on. We need another victory next week, and we could be through and planning for the States.
Yeah, it's a weird one with the defensively, because I know what you're talking about with the little wobbles, and first off, even Jordan Pickford's almost kicked one into the path of Harry Wilson, which might have ricocheted anywhere. And he has those moments of boredom where he decides to make the game exciting, but it's another clean sheet. So defensively, no complaints really.
No complaints at all, unless you look at the bigger picture and you think, you know, let's look at tournament football and the odd chance in a game and small margins. That's where my mind's going at this moment in time.
Yeah, listen, I would say to you as well that maybe we didn't have our first choice fullbacks out there tonight. John Stones being back, though, I thought was a big plus, because at times in the first half he looked so good on the ball, didn't he? He looked like a real leader, bringing it out. He looked absolute class at times.
I think it looks the best pairing at the moment, him and Gahey. I'm a big fan of Gahey, but John Stones alongside him, they balance off each other. It gives Gahey the opportunity to play in the position he does for his club, the left side centre-back role that he seems to enjoy.
And that was a big problem, wasn't it? Kiefer Moore could get no joy against those centre-halves. I mean, yes, it was to do with the way Wales were set up and the way England were really good, but defensively England at centre-half, Tom, looked solid.
Yeah, they do, and they got good strength and depth there as well. You know, if something was to happen, you look, you know, Big Dan Burn can easily fill in there, and he's a man mountain himself, obviously playing really well at Newcastle, so... Yeah, it was a comfortable game for England today, especially in the first half. They'll have tougher tests, that's for sure. But I agree with Stuart that it was probably the best pairing I've seen.
Right, let's head down to the tunnel and check in with Faye Carruthers.
I am standing here right now with Bukayo Saka. Bukayo, Stuart Pearce said in commentary that was the best goal he's ever seen at Wembley. How did it feel when it left your foot? I mean, wow is what you say.
I've scored a better one at Wembley, I think, but
which one?
Against Ukraine. Yeah, Jordan Henderson reminded me at half-time because he gave me the assist, but no, it felt good when it left my foot, and obviously when I looked up and I saw where it was, great feeling, you know.
It was a really good team performance, it felt. That opening 20 minutes in particular was really exciting to watch. How did it feel out there?
Yeah, it felt amazing. One of the best team performances I've been a part of in an England shirt. The first 35 minutes, I'd say, you know, we were like a pest. We were almost unstoppable at times, you know, and the way we're moving the ball, when we counter press, win it back. It felt like, you know, every time we had the ball, we could score. And yeah, I felt it was a very, very good team performance, one that we can be proud of and continue to build on.
And how exciting is it to be part of that? Bearing in mind, obviously, you've been so hampered by injuries. This is actually only the second game that you've had under Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, I know. I've missed a lot of games under Thomas Tuchel, so you know, at the start of the season, I was itching to get back in the English shirt and build some momentum and get some games under him. And obviously, I missed last camp, which I was gutted about. So it made this camp feel even more special for me. You know, coming back and obviously playing at Wembley, which I haven't done in a while, and scoring a goal for England as well, which I haven't done in a while either. So yeah, a really nice evening.
Yeah, your 13th goal for England, and it was a beaut. 45 caps you've had, and of course you made your debut here. It's almost 5 years to the day since you made your senior debut. What a journey you've been on.
Yeah, I know, amazing journey. Obviously 5 years ago I played against Wales as well at Wembley. No fans, it was COVID. Obviously it's been 5 years now. It's been some journey, many ups and downs, but I just have to give thanks to God, you know, that I'm still here going strong in an England shirt, and I still get the privilege to put the shirt on and come out and play here at Wembley. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to the future, and hopefully we can continue building.
Now take me behind the scenes, because Thomas Tuchel has talked about this incredible team spirit that built in the last camp, and that he wanted to then build the momentum. How different is it?
How different is what?
How different is the team spirit? What is it like behind the scenes? Because he was really pleased with the way everything gelled, and obviously you weren't part of that. So have you come in and noticed a change between the last camp you were involved in June?
I feel like I can just see the values he's setting, and you know, what he's accepting, what he's not accepting. But yeah, when I've come here, and many times I've come here, I've seen a team that, you know, gets on well with each other, and you know, wants to play for England, wants to win, and he's definitely big on that, and he's showing it. He's telling you guys as well. He's telling us, and yeah, I think we're showing that too in the games and off the pitch also. So we just need to continue doing that.
And just finally, because Morgan Rogers is waiting to come over and have his say as well. Brilliant first goal for England for him. Additionally, but in terms of the team and the competition that he keeps talking, is that message getting through to everyone? You know, there are not many games left now until America, when you hopefully seal your place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. You know, when you come to England, you look around, all you see is quality, players that are ready to play at the highest level. So yeah, every day you need to push yourself, every day you need to train at the highest level and perform at the highest level if you want to put the shirt on. And I think it's healthy competition, it creates a good environment, lots of intensity, and I think it's best for all of us. We're pushing each other, and you know, then it's up to the manager to obviously pick the team he sees best and try and help England win.
Brilliant performance today, Bukayo. You were a pest, and it was brilliant to watch you back out in an England shirt. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Right, Morgan Rogers is just coming over, Aid. Sorry to keep you here. Morgan, congratulations. Your first senior England goal. Look at the smile on your face.
Yeah, I know. Buzzing, so happy. It's what you dream of as a kid. It's things that strive you to work hard and to get into this position. So yeah, it's a lovely feeling.
It was a beautiful team goal as well. Talk me through it from your perspective.
I just remember the ball dropping to Mark and just finding a bit of space and just hoping that he saw me, and then just trying to direct it into the net, and luckily it did. So yeah, I'm really happy.
Have you watched it? And actually, the way he cuts it back off the byline and stops it from going out, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, the quality of England players, I suppose. Yeah, I did wonder if it went out as I was celebrating, hoping that not being disallowed or anything, but yeah, it was really nice.
For you personally, how big a confidence boost is that? Because Jim Proudfoot was saying in commentary, it's been 23 games now since you've not scored for club and country. Has that started playing on your mind?
I didn't even know that. Yeah, no, it was. What's on my mind is just winning games. Of course, I want to contribute and score goals, and I'm in the team to score goals and make things happen. But no, I don't really think about stuff like that. As long as the team's winning and performing, hopefully my performances come along with it, and I can just help and see what I can do in the games and stuff. But yeah, no, I'm not really too focused on stuff like that.
Well, the manager is definitely impressed with your performances, because I think it's only you and Declan Rice that have been ever presents in Thomas Tuchel's starting and substitutions since he took over. How does that make you feel, that he has that much confidence in you?
Yeah, of course, a nice feeling. We don't need to say much on the manager. We know how good he is and what he's won, and yeah, to be in and around it and a part of it, and to give me trust and faith, of course, a nice feeling. And you just want to replay him, and you just want to show what you're about as well, and that's what it's about. And yeah, it's lovely.
I've just asked Bukayo Saka what the team spirit is like. Now, obviously he wasn't in that September camp, but Thomas Tuchel has put a lot of emphasis on how impressed he was with the team spirit in September and wanting you to bring that into the camps going forward. How have you seen the difference? What is it? What was the small tweak last camp that's made all this difference?
I don't know. I think it's just time. I think sometimes everyone wants results and you want to see a difference straight away, and sometimes that's not how things are. I think building over time, over camps, I think you just get that, and I think you see the way the staff and the manager works, and then you buzz off that, and you get that feeling. And obviously being similar players in each camp each time, I think that also brings a level of togetherness and a level of trust. And yeah, I think it's just, as I said, it happens over time. We know we've got a goal, and we know the World Cup's not here yet, so we know we've got a long way to get to that, so we're not rushing or panicking, and yeah, it's just bit by bit, and you can see the progression that's coming along.
And listen, this is a difficult question for me to ask you, because I'm asking you about it from your point of view, but just finally, we've talked a lot about the big personalities in the group and the fact that there are certain names who you expect to be on the score sheet. You and I have chatted before about how difficult that number 10 position is, and the fact you've got huge names that you're competing against. It feels as if you are making that spot your own. Do you feel that?
I don't really look at it like that, really. I think the players I'm competing with, they're world-class players, and listen, I know I have ability, and I know I trust in myself, and I know I trust myself to perform, and I think I deserve to be in this squad, don't get me wrong, but at the same time I know I've got a massive competition, and if you want to keep that shirt, you got to keep performing ultimately, and that's what I'm just going to try and do. And I know every player will be breathing down each other's necks, and the competition will be high, and that's what we want as an England squad. That's what we want as a nation going into a tournament. You want people competing for places, you want different variety, different options, and I think that's what we got. So I'm just going to keep pushing and see where it takes me.
I knew you would give a humble answer like that. Thank you, Morgan. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. See you soon. Thank you.
Thanks very much. That's Faker Others with Morgan Rogers. Before that, Bukayo Saka and Stuart Pearce. Do you want to just give your view on Bukayo Saka saying his goal against Ukraine, which we're just watching at the moment? Edge of the box, curls it in, but he's rolled his defender before that. He reckons that Ukraine goal was better than tonight's goal. What do you think? You've seen both.
I think I've stood corrected. He's absolutely spot on. That was a better goal. I've just seen it. Okay, let's say tonight was a close second, but that was definitely a brilliant one. And I've got to say, what a fantastic interview that was by Morgan Rogers. Doesn't he speak well? Incredible.
Well, he does. And when you're talking about, Faze asked him the question, do you see that as your spot, the number 10? You got to bear in mind that those he's up against, Bellingham, Foden, Cole Palmer. I mean, if you'd said as a cold question in the summer, which of those four will be your number 10, Stuart, I don't think many would have put Rodgers at the top of that list.
No, and that's the beauty of the England squad at the moment. They've got so many options, and if your form's good, I think this fella will pick you.
I think the other thing to mention is that the questions she asked about the last camp and this camp, we'll get into that in a second, because we can go back down to Faker Others.
Yes, I'm in front of Thomas Tuchel right now, just congratulating him on another win. Thomas, how pleased were you with the win and the performance?
Very pleased with the first half. I stick with my statement that it's a very difficult team to play against, because they have, they're very well drilled. To not let them escape of their own half, to have so many ball wins, needs a lot of work, needs a lot of teamwork. It needs smart work. We put a lot of effort in. We only had 1.5 days to prepare, so full credit to the players. They did an amazing job in the first half. We could have been 4-5-0 up and deserved the win, so I'm very delighted.
You specified there the first half, so I'm fascinated. how you felt during the second half, because I was watching you were delighted, fist pumping, the Thomas Tuchel that we know when you're winning. In the second half you look very frustrated at times.
No, not frustrated, but it's difficult. We needed to do everything, and then we didn't score the fourth one, the fifth one, so the energy was a little bit flat. We tried to changes with 4 changes from the side. They changed a lot, so it looked a little bit like that, and we couldn't get it going again, but nothing to be worried of or nothing to be concerned about. It is what it is. We didn't take our chances. I think if we scored a fourth one, we would have had a huge chance to catch another wave and score maybe 5 or 6, but everything okay.
2 big players who've been big players for England for a long time now, in John Stones and Bukayo Saka, back in the starting lineup. What did you make of their performances?
Very good, like all of them, but I really mean it. If you want to dominate a team like Wales like that, it's a team effort, and everyone has to buy into that idea. The boys were excellent the last 1.5 days to buy into these ideas and to buy into the idea of making that effort to shut them down very early, and we had a lot of ball wins. Bukayo was strong. John is in itself also an excellent player, so both had top performance, and you can see the quality.
And of course the first goal as well for Morgan Rogers. I've just spoken to him just there. He's always such a humble character. But it feels now, and the names that I'm going to bring into the mix: Cole Palmer, Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, always been the players that we expect to play 10. But you have played Morgan Rogers in every single game that you've had in charge of England. How high up in your estimation is he? And obviously, barring injury, how close is he to be going to the World Cup if and when you qualify?
I don't know if he goes to the World Cup. It's on him. He decides that. I think he didn't start every game, but he played every game because simply he deserves it. And I can just agree with you. He's a very humble kid. He has the physique to impose himself. He can run, he can score, he can assist. He's a very, very humble player, a top team player. And he fights for his shirt, for his place, and the question is why not? He does so well. He had an excellent match in Serbia. He had a very good match today. So job done, and next job comes up in 5 days.
Yeah, and you've got a little bit more time. A couple more quick questions for you. Firstly, just on how pleased you were with the building of the momentum that you've been talking about. Have you seen that same team spirit this camp that you did the last?
I think we proved it today again. I think we played in Serbia like a club team, and today as well. We had some changes in the attack, how to initiate our press, and it takes a lot of effort mentally, but also physically, and the team just steps up. They love to play this way. We have guys who push the limits and who push the standards, has set the standards, and everyone follows. So physically, and it's a very demanding approach, but the guys love it. I love to train them at the moment because it's you can see what they're capable of, and so we imposed ourselves physically, and then also with our quality, of course. So that's why I'm very happy.
Just finally, what did you say to Craig Bellamy just before the final whistle? Because you had a really lovely moment on the touchline.
Yeah, I wish him all the best for the game. He has a huge game coming up against Belgium, and I wished him all the best. I told him that I know that he does a fantastic job because we see all the patterns, and it took us many hours on the video screen to figure out how we wanna create our pressing. So we had a little chat, and I wished him all the best for his qualification game, and he wished us all the best.
Excellent. See you in Latvia.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Charles.
There you go, Faye Carruthers with Thomas Tuchel. Stuart, coming to the end. Sports Bar is coming up. 03717 223344. Stuart, just want to go back to what Bukayo Saka said. First of all, he talked about what he's noticed since coming back into camp after injury. I can see the values Thomas Tuchel is setting, he said. He also said I could see what he is accepting and what he isn't accepting. And also Morgan Rogers saying similar kind of things. And he talked about togetherness and trust. And I find it fascinating. This squad this get together has started really well with a fantastic 20 minutes, fantastic first half, fantastic results. Makes me wonder how some of those other players are going to get back in, but it's also positive at the moment.
Yeah, it is. The good thing is football changes very quickly. Sometimes you're on the outside of it. You keep your club performances up. the odd injury here and there, and the squad will change. It'll evolve over time. It's a long, long time to the World Cup. We haven't got too many games between now and then, but it's all about possession of shirt. And if you're in possession and you're playing well, the manager can't leave you out.
And one final point from both of you, Tom Lockyer first and then Stuart Pearce. I want to mention somebody we haven't mentioned since full time, and that's Elliot Anderson, who I thought was just so good for England. And him coming into the team seems to have allowed Declan Rice to get even better. It's just such a crucial discovery, really, if you like, Elliot Anderson.
Yeah, he was fantastic tonight, as was Declan Rice, to be fair. But he just goes about his job with no thrills or fanciness. He just gets on, does it, and such an integral part to any team that's going to be successful. Really, when Liverpool were in their prime and Jordan Henderson was going about his work, it really's got that feel to it for me, where, you'll only really notice how much you miss him when he's not in the team. And don't get me wrong, England have got great depth and plenty of players in that position, but for such a young man at such a young age to be doing what he's doing, it is really incredible.
Stuart, on Elliot Anderson.
Tom mentioned it in commentary. He said he thought he was the best player for England and the best player on the pitch, and I'll tell you what, I tend to agree with him as well. He was fantastic with the ball and without the ball.
Well, we may agree. Check my marks out of 10 on the TalkSport website, talksport.com. Don't forget to get hold of tomorrow's TalkSport Daily Podcast. Tomorrow morning, Stuart, Jim, myself, we're going to be breaking down everything you need to know from England's 3-0 win over Wales tonight. And you'll be hearing from the big players and Thomas Tuchel in that podcast as well. So get hold of that from where you get your podcasts. Tonight, England 3 up in 20 minutes, game over. Wales go into their crucial game with Belgium Monday, feeling positive after a 3-0 beating. It's a funny old game. Sports Bar next, 03717 223344.
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. Download the app or visit TalkSportBet.com for all the latest odds and offers. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
And the titans of turf and track. But who was the real deal? Every Tuesday morning from 10, join Jim White and Simon Jordan as they nominate the sporting star who's proved to be the real deal of the week. Don't miss The Real Deal with White and Jordan every Tuesday morning from 10 on TalkSport with Selco Builders Warehouse. For the latest special offers, pick up this month's Real Deals in branch or view online at selcobw.com.
Imagine the very focal lens of the future, personalised to you, engineered with artificial intelligence and powered by your visual behaviour. Experience instantly sharp vision in motion with Varilux XR Pro lenses from Essilor. Find your local optician at essilor.com and ask for Varilux XR Pro.
The all-new iPhone 17 Pro is designed with the ultimate pro camera system.
I can see them! Oh. Get a pic!
Hey, this 8X zoom, that's amazing.
Yeah?
Great shot. People are going to think we're in the front row.
I love it.
Class, tag man.
So you can take amazing photos and share them on EE. Because the most powerful iPhone yet deserves the best network. Search EE iPhone.
Verify best network at ee.co.uk/claims.
We're the dirty secret in your drains.
We may start as a nasty little nymph,
but we get more powerful.
Crawling up your pipes.
Choking your toilet.
Until it's all aboard the express train to drain pain.
When your drains become a total horror show, call Metro Rod. Metro Rod's heroes are on hand 24/7 to nuke all the nasty surprises in your pipes. For sanitation salvation, visit metrorod.co.uk. Metro Rod, here to save the day.
This is Josh. Josh is happy. He's just bought a brand spanking new TV. What he doesn't know is he could have bought a premium TV without spending a fortune. You see, Hisense's award-winning TVs come with premium features like mini LED, quantum dot and Dolby Atmos, but don't cost the earth. Josh is sad. Sorry, Josh. Choose smarter. Choose Hisense. Rated 5-star for reliability by Which.
When you're growing a small business, you need someone who understands the ins and outs. And whether you're a tailor or an accountant, you need the tools to succeed. With an HSBC small business banking account, you'll have free accounting tools and access to our business specialists, virtually or in person. Because whatever your small business looks like, we're with you all the way. Search HSBC Small Business Banking Account to get started. Subject to application, eligibility, credit check and T's and C's. Visit hsbc.co.uk for details.
Whatever kind of football fan you are, TalkSport and the Coral Daily Download are here for it to celebrate the fans every day. Whether you're a front row seater or a prawn sandwich eater, a half and half scarf wearer or a lifelong faithful torchbearer, a retro shirt for every game or bare-chested, even in the rain. For all the latest news, reaction and odds this season, don't miss the Coral Daily Download every morning from 6 on TalkSport with Coral. We're here for the fans. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
On DAB, online, and on your smart speaker. TalkSport.
On DAB, on the app, and on your smart TV.
Supercharged, super confident, super strength, late night football talk.
You are absolutely deluded.
It's the nation's favourite sports speakeasy, where for some reason, it's always your round. The Sports Bar with Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara on TalkSport.
All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Sports Bar with me, Jason Cundy, alongside former Spurs midfielder, Jamie O'Hara.
Has anyone seen Wales? Has anyone seen Craig Bellamy? Can you hear me, Craig Bellamy? Your voice at one hell of a beating. Dragons, Tom Jones, Dean Saunders, Welsh Rabbit, Fireman Sam, Gareth, Bell, Gareth, Bell. Have you seen Gareth Bell? Your voice at one hell of a beating. Stacey from Gavin and Stacey, Catherine Seaton-Jones, Thomas the Tank Engine, Leeds, Shirley Bassey, Shirley Bassey. Can you hear me, Bassey? Your voice at one hell of a beating. Anthony Hopkins, Daffodils, The Valleys, Aberystwyth, River 7. Has anyone seen Wales?
That's amazing. England smashed Wales at Wembley Night Live here on TalkSport. No Harry Kane, no Jude Bellingham, and no voice, no bother either. They destroyed Wales going forward in that first half. Is there any way we can be more dynamic without the likes of Harry Kane in the team? Really? Can you? 03717 2233 4. Rice and Anson dominating again in midfield. Should they be our pairing going forward? And Wales fans, what's all here from you lot? What was going on there? Great start for Bellamy, but that's 2 poor losses in a row for you lot now. Elsewhere, big win for Scotland. Rather do as anyone see. Big win for Scotland against Greece tonight. And we're looking ahead to a huge night of boxing in Sheffield this weekend. Live here on TalkSport. Get involved. We can't do the show without you. 03717 223344. You can also watch us live on YouTube and Smart TV. This is a Sports Bar live here on TalkSport.
Oh, Jace, I feel for you, mate.
Well done, mate.
I feel for you.
I need you stepped in. You've done a great job, mate. I couldn't do that. I'm anyone that doesn't.
You couldn't even do the opener. You know what I mean? It's embarrassing from you.
My poor little voice, mate.
Poor Cundy. He couldn't do his anything, but we didn't want to let it go.
First time I backed out, and Jay said, "I can do it.
I'll do it for you.
I'll do it. I'll keep the."
Can you hear? I can't do that. I can't do that. Can you hear me?
Mate, you've done a great job. Well done. Stepped up to the plate.
Mate, you know what? It's quite hard, that.
Hard work, mate.
It's not easy.
No, it's not. You've got to keep going.
Yeah, it's
hard graft, mate.
You got to find a level to keep going.
You do.
Poor you,
back out, mate. You can't back out. But well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Started the show.
Yeah. You struggling? You all right?
Do you know what, mate? I don't want to go on about it, right? But yeah, I've not been well the last couple of days, mate. Yeah. I didn't get out of bed till midday today. Yeah. Sweating there. Only went to the toilet, come back, fell asleep. Got out of bed at 9 o'clock, went back to sleep until 10. Got out of bed at 11, went to the toilet, got back in bed, honestly, mate, there's a lot of it going round, mate. It's hanging around for 2 days now, this. They've got to protect the throat. That's why they can't do as anyone's seen. You know? I've been sucking all sorts, mate. I've had sweets.
Yeah?
Yeah, the bald sweet, the cough sweets. I've been a fisherman's friend sucking on that. Cough mixture, the Beechams, honestly, the old head. Anyway, by the way, what is that stuff you cough up? What is that? What's going on there? It's unbelievable. I can't can't say anything, can I? Can't say anything. Just got to suck it up, mate. I'm here. I braved it in, mate.
You're in, mate. You're in.
I'm sweating. I'm like, oh.
You made it in. Well done, son.
Mate,
well done.
Here, matey.
Look, we've got to talk about England. Obviously, we destroyed Wales, put them to the sword in the first half, dropped off a little bit in the second, which is, probably normal when you're cruising, but positive signs from Thomas Tuchel's England.
Well, do you know what, right? The first half an hour in particular, in fact, the first 35, 40 seconds, we got a corner straight from kickoff. And there was an energy and there was movement in front, and that set the tone for the opening 25, 30 minutes of the game. We got our noses in front, and Wales just couldn't deal with us. They just did not know how to deal with the movement in front, runners from deep. I mean, I thought Elliot Anderson, I thought Rice was superb. I thought the midfield three, Rodgers, Anderson and Rice, I thought were outstanding. We used the width of the pitch.
How good's Elliot Anderson?
Yeah, no, he's a monster, mate.
Mate, I've watched him for a while, and I watched him at Nottingham Forest, and he's a good player, but
yeah,
he's come into the England team, and I'm watching him going, he's absolutely fantastic. He gets on the ball, he makes things happen, he presses from the front, he anticipates where the ball's going to drop. The amount of second balls that he won just by anticipating where he thought the ball was going to be. He's sharper than everyone else. What a player!
Yeah, and do you know what I heard Thomas Tuchel talk, and Bukayo Saka and Morgan Rogers talk on the TV, and they came on here as well when Faye interviewed him. And the one thing that you can really see now, what Tuchel is assembling here, is that he said in the TV interview, we need to win games without Harry Kane, without Jude Bellingham. Now, he doesn't mean that they're not going to be involved. What he means by that, it's a great, something that haven't had in the past. We need to find solutions, his words, not mine, find solutions to scenarios that we could find ourselves in. And I tell you what, that midfield area now, in behind, and Watkins didn't do himself any harm, gets his goal, should score when he injured himself.
Sharp, though.
I don't know how I don't know, hopefully that knocks.
Yeah, he should score. He missed that goal, but
we need, and it's his word, we need to find solutions. And that midfield area, think about the players that aren't there. You've got Cole Palmer, Foden, Bellingham. I mean, my God, can you think about not any of those three starting in England's first game at the World Cup if we get there?
Well, watching tonight, I'll be quite happy with that team, what I'm seeing. Here's a question for you, Jason. And everyone talks about it, and I'm going to throw it out there, and I'm not saying we're not going to play with him, but do we look sharper without Harry Kane?
I think that's unfair on Kane, because I think we'd have probably done exactly the same to them had he been up front instead of Watkins. I don't think Watkins is necessarily the reason why we played so well. The midfield three.
No, but he runs in behind.
We
got him behind a lot, and what it did, it allowed Morgan Rogers to get on the ball in the pockets, where normally Harry Kane dropped.
There was a lot of runners from deep as well. Rogers was making runs in behind there. Declan Rice, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
The work rate he got through in that first half hour, up and down, receiving the ball off the two centre-half, Stones and Gehi. And then 30 seconds later, he's getting on, trying to get on the end of things. He was outstanding in that first half an hour.
Yeah.
But I think what we're looking at now is there are no absolute... so we had said this the other day. It feels like that if Kane's fit, Kane starts. But what if Kane needs to come off? And that's something that the manager in the past, Gareth Southgate, was reluctant to do in big moments. And I think Tuchel is probably the manager to say, if things aren't working and there's half hour left, I think he's the sort of manager that will make a change for the benefit of the team, not because it's Harry Kane, because it's Jude Bellingham, or whoever it might be. I think that we've got a manager now that's looking around and thinking, I've got so many options. He's creating a unity in there, but he's also creating competition. He's giving players their chance, and they're grabbing it. That first half, Morgan, Rogers, Anderson and Rice. Saka, on one side, Gordon, work rate, all round. Everyone done their job. And it's one of those games, Jay, where if you're Palmer, you're Foden, you're Bellingham, and even Kane to a degree, you're watching that going, I would love to have played in that game.
Yeah.
I'd love to have been part of that.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what it all starts to look like. But Elliot Anderson, wow, what a player he's turning into. And it looks like we've been looking for a player to allow Rice to go and do what he did tonight in terms of being able to play more forward. And I think we found it in Elliot Anderson. What a performance from him. But loads of positives to go at. Have your say, 03 717 22 3344. Let's go to Gareth. He's a Spurs fan. Gareth?
All right, Gareth.
Hey, how you doing, guys? I'm just on my way back from the game with my son.
Yeah, look, what a performance.
Yeah, and to be fair, my comment, my point was pretty much what you just said. I think Bellingham is going to have a bit of issues getting his shirt back with the way Elliot Anderson the way he's off the ball, what he does with the ball. There's a selflessness about the way he plays that I don't think we have with Bellingham. And I think that benefits England more.
Well, do you know what? If that's the case, good. That we have competition. It's the point I was just making there. Yeah. You know, and anyone nailed on, and I think if you go back, look, there's a lot of football that has to be played between now and when that World Cup first kicks off, right? There's a lot of football. Bellingham's had his shoulder injury. He's never let England down. He'll be in the squad. But if it turns out that Thomas Tuchel has found a formula in the middle of the park that doesn't involve Bellingham, that gets the best for England, there is not one Englishman out there that's going to complain. Not one. So it's the benefit of the team.
Yeah. It is, and it's going to be. I think Bellingham will actually be a better backup to Anderson because Bellingham does have a bit of flair that you might need, and I think he'd probably be better attacking a weaker or a more tired team than potentially what he is at the moment when he starts.
You was at the game, you at, Gareth?
Yeah.
Thomas Tuchel's dug the fans out. Here's a quote that he's come out with after the game. The stadium was silent. We never got any energy back from the fans. What more can you give in 20 minutes? If you just hear Wales fans, it's a bit sad. The team deserved big support today. Was it?
I agree.
I'll be honest. I don't think the atmosphere was any different to any other time that me and the boy have been down at Wembley. The only thing I would say that was different was we played a team with a set of fans who were there to enjoy their night regardless.
Yeah,
and
I agree
you
with
know
that.
what? We were sat behind the goal right next to them, and you know what? They were brilliant to watch. They had banter. Yes, they took the mick. Yes, there was a bit of derogatory here and there, but across the board, they knew they were coming. They were turning up for a hiding, and they thought, you know what? Let's just enjoy ourselves.
I don't know if they was expecting hiding they got, and it's just sometimes when you get that hiding, then you just enjoy the night, right?
Gallows humour, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're getting beat. Might as well enjoy ourselves.
Might as well enjoy ourselves. We're getting pumped.
Exactly what it was.
I'd have to say,
what it was.
I agree with Tuchel. Right, 3-0 up. It was dead in there.
No, but it's a friendly. It's a friendly.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Like, it's not a World Cup game, is it?
No,
Do you know
what
what
I'm
I mean?
saying, he's right. Thomas Tuchel's right.
Yeah, he's right, but England friendlies.
It is Wales. Can you imagine if that was over in Cardiff Arms Bar? That was up in Wales. Can you tell me now that atmosphere would have been better than what we saw tonight? I think he's right. I think the England fans that went there they get 3-0 up and they just sit there. Entertain me. Give me more. I want to see more goals.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I hear you. I do.
The Wales fans are up and
we're 3-0 up after half hour.
I know.
Giving them a good old
and there is nothing
spanking.
on it, but he's right what he says. I thought.
All right, Gareth, thanks for your call. Let's go to Anthony. He's Arsenal fan. Ant?
Evening, boys.
How are you, Ant? You good?
All right, Ant.
Yeah, good. I'm good.
What's your game?
Quite straightforward, weren't it, really? Elliot I don't usually agree with you, Jamie, but yeah, Elliot Anderson, absolute superb.
Yeah.
I think one player that we've left out that hasn't even been in the squad is Jack Grealish. There's another option.
Yeah, on that left-hand side, I think Jack will probably get his chance if he continues doing what he's doing. There's another...
I hope he does, because I was surprised that he wasn't called up. Because I think he started the season so well.
Well, Who'd you leave out?
Who you leave out? And can't leave Gordon out at the moment, can you? And there may well be, I think, a chance for him in November.
I think Thomas Tuchel likes pace on the wing.
Yeah,
I think Jack Grealish.
I don't think Grealish has got. He ain't got the pace of Gordon and Rashford. That's
Grealish is a bit of a maverick, right? And
he's a creative player.
He's a creative player, plays off the left. I don't think, and this might be harsh because I really like Jack Grealish and he's playing really well. I don't think Thomas Tuchel's going to fancy him. I don't. I think he likes pace, especially on the wings.
Well, we'll find out. We will find out, and he's got a wealth of talent to choose from, and that left-hand side. If we all remember going back into the Euros a couple of years ago, we had Foden out there. It was a real issue for him. Even Anthony Gordon kind of got minutes out there, not enough. It was a problem he never quite solved.
Yeah, and just on the fact that big players not in the team, Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, but we look like a really good team.
Yeah, and it's, again, like your points at the beginning of the show, it's nice that we didn't have to rely on the likes of Harry Kane, so the others could get forward. It was great to watch. I mean, it's Wales, it's a friendly, and I do get Tuchel's point. Yeah, we're 3-0 up, but give us a bit more. Come on, lads. It's a friendly.
I thought we was average in the second half. To be fair, I mean,
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
But it is easy, to take your foot off the gas when you're winning 3-0.
And also, Wales were shell-shocked after half an hour, mate.
Yeah.
I don't think they could quite believe what was going on, actually.
Yeah, no,
I think Craig Bellamy's done a great job for Wales since he's gone in there, and I think he was probably shocked himself.
Yeah.
So there's levels, though, isn't there? Do you know what I mean, Ant?
Yeah,
there's levels.
They're not as good as us. Nowhere near.
Put it back in their box, didn't we?
Well, look, 2-0 up after 3, 1 after 3 minutes, 2-0 up after 11, and 3 up after 20. And it was constant. Down both flanks, by the way. That's the thing that moved me. Both fullbacks saw lots of the ball. Anthony Gordon saw loads. Bukayo Saka saw loads. But even through the middle, Rodgers and Anderson, everyone got on the ball. We weren't predictable. You could have picked any way, and we got in behind.
Yeah, you know what I loved about England tonight, and it's the new modern way of possession-based football. Tonight, I watched the England side that I really would enjoy watching. They got the ball and they passed it forward.
First thought,
break lines. Yep. Into Elliot Anderson on the half turn, and instead of going full back, out the other side, it was, right, who can I stick in? And if he's not on to stick it in, I'm going to turn, and I'm going to try and play another pass. For the amount of first half hour, we must have broke through their lines 10 times, in behind, through their midfields, getting players on the ball, and all of a sudden, then, you're so far up the pitch, and Wales are like, oh my God, what's going on? You're retreating. Yeah. But that's how you're meant to play at international level.
It's positive, and it's great to watch. And that's just how we do the job Tuesday, and we're more or less there.
But we've got to play like that. We've got to play like that all the time. We've got to play like that when you're going to the World Cup.
Totally
when you're
agree.
playing against France, you're playing against the Brazil. Don't be tentative and break off. We've got the players. We've shown that we are, we're a top international side. Take risks. Give it to people. Stick it into their feet. They can deal with it. Pass balls with, when players at when they got players at the backside. Morgan Rogers, he was asking for the ball. And he's getting marked, but he knows he can deal with it. He can feel the player. Stick it into me, and I'll make something happen. I loved what we did tonight, and I just hope that that's how Thomas Tuchel wants his team to play all the time. But we'll see. There's loads to talk about. Harry Kane obviously didn't play. We looked good. Is he a guaranteed starter? Bellingham. Is he one that has to worry about his role in the side? Get involved in his show. Can't do it without. I want to hear from Wales fans as well. Massive win for Scotland. We've got to give them a
huge win for Scotland. There was one moment there. We're looking at
fans.
They've gone 1-0 down. I think they equalised minutes later, and then they got the noses in front.
1-3-1. That puts them in.
Imagine dropping points there, mate. That was a big win for them.
Yeah, amazing result for them. So Scotland, obviously, big win for you tonight. You can give us a call as well. 03 717 223344.
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. From weekly broadcast boosts to lucky dips and brilliant bet builders. Bring it on at TalkSportBet.com.
Hello?
Hi, my boiler's been making this sound.
Oh, like an
kind of. A bit more That's it.
Yeah, that's a blocked condensate pipe.
Ah. Checkatrade approved tradespeople commit to delivering quality work and communicating honestly, even if it is in from plumbing to roofing to electrics. Download the Checkatrade app. Checkatrade. A job done right.
Checkatrade.com. The Monopoly game at McDonald's is back, and with a 1 in 4 chance to win instantly on pack, you could get your hands on a £2,000 Jet2 holiday, a Big Mac, Merlin annual passes for 4, and even more epic prizes. Go on, it's your go. 18 plus, UK, ends 21st of October. Selected menu items, subject to availability. App may be required. See mcdrules.co.uk.
Catch something big at your local Admiral Slots Casino, because Bigger Bass Bonanza can now be played on the high street. Take a spin and reel in some big wins with free game bonuses and jackpots of up to £500. Upgrade your gaming experience today at Admiral and play all your favourite games the way they're meant to be played at any of our 280 venues nationwide. If you're ready to play, spin safe at Admiral, where our friendly team are on hand to help you play responsibly and stay within your limits. Over 18s only. Please gamble responsibly.
Aldi's Super 6 fruit and veg from 69p each. Salad potatoes, Royal Gala apples, shallots and butternut squash, all British. Plus mixed peppers and sugar snap peas. They'll be snapped up in no time. In store now. Aldi, multiple fruit and veg retailer 2025 at the FPC Fresh Awards. Products and prices may vary, subject to availability.
OK, James, I need you to do a few more drops than yesterday, I'm afraid.
Carl needs to find another driver for his expanding courier business. Someone who'll really help to lighten the load.
Any issues, give me a call.
Indeed can help him find great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do.
South today. What about you?
Indeed helps you quickly attract, screen, and virtually interview great candidates, all through an easy-to-use dashboard. To start hiring, visit Indeed.com/try today.
Buy now with up to 12 months to pay with VeryPay. With VeryPay,
save up to 30% on selected toys, including must-have toys from Barbie, VTech and Hot Wheels. Get up to 12 months to pay when you shop with VeryPay. Plus, there's nothing to pay at checkout. Search VeryPay today. Very. Let's make it sparkle. VeryPay credit provided subject to status by Shop Direct Finance Company Limited. 18 plus representative. 44.9% APR variable. Offer ends 30th of October.
TalkSport and Arnold Clark Charge are giving away a new MGS5 electric car, EV Lover. Just plug it in. Can you believe it? This Friday morning, join the Superstar Breakfast, plus 3 finalists, live from Arnold Clark in Glasgow. Rapid charging from as little as 55p. One ultimate champion will win that car. It's the kind of car you dream of getting hold of. EV Lover on TalkSport with Arnold Clark Charge. Ultra rapid EV charging at an ultra low price.
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. Stay on the ball with our safer gambling tools. Find out more at TalkSportBet.com. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
The 2025 Super League Grand Final, live on TalkSport.
The drama not yet over.
This Saturday afternoon, two-time defending champions Wigan Warriors go head-to-head with Hull Kingston Rovers in the Super League Grand Final.
Live from Old Trafford. Back-to-back Wigan tries in the blink of an eye.
Get all the rock and roll build-up from 5.
With tough tackling full match commentary from 6.
And it's an absolute cracker.
The 2025 Super League Grand Final. Hull Kingston Rovers versus Wigan Warriors. Saturday afternoon from 5.
Live on TalkSport.
Pass and move, fob and weave, grip and grin. It's the Sports Bar.
You're listening to the Sports Bar on TalkSport. Me, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. A reminder that TalkSport is now on your smart TV. Just grab the app on your Android TV or Google TV. We're even on Prime Video. TalkSport live on your screen as well as your speakers. Still to come, we're going to hear from Scotland fans after that massive win for them tonight. 03 717 22 3344. But here's Thomas Tuchel speaking to Faker Others after beating Wales 3-0. The England boss was delighted with the first half, but disappointed by the approach after the break.
Very pleased with the first half. I stick with my statement that it's a very difficult team to play against because they have, they're very well drilled. We put a lot of effort in. We only had 1.5 days to prepare, so full credit to the players. They did an amazing job in the first half. We could have been 4-5-0 up.
You specified there the first half, so I'm fascinated how you felt during the second half. You looked very frustrated at times.
No, not frustrated, but it's difficult. We needed to do everything, and then we didn't score the fourth one, the fifth one, so the energy was a little bit flat. Couldn't get it going again, but nothing to be worried of or nothing to be concerned about. It is what it is. We didn't take our chances. I think if we scored the fourth one, we would have had a huge chance to catch another wave and score maybe 5 or 6, but everything okay.
Yes, Thomas Tuchel speaking after the game. Let's go to Dan. All right, Dan?
Dan?
Hello, mate.
What, Danny?
How are you, Dan? You all right?
Yeah, how was it?
Yeah, good, mate. You watch the game? Been there? What you been?
Yeah, we're on the way back from the game now.
Okay, and what do you make of it?
First 20 minutes, absolutely played them off the park. After that, not interested. They were crap, and Arlo just took the foot off the gas. They offered nothing, and that's after the first 20 minutes, that was the issue. They offered nothing, and our boys weren't interested after that, basically.
I don't know, when you say they weren't interested, I mean, quantify that. What do you mean they weren't? I mean, they weren't interested in getting another goal?
Well, yeah, because the game was over, 3-0.
Yeah, I don't know whether the word's interested.
We're playing the League One side.
Yeah, I think
League One.
Yeah, well, tell me which Welsh players that were decent tonight. Then
no,
they were poor, but they're not a League One team.
It's
Brendan
not,
Johnson.
Yeah, they've got a bigger game to play on Monday evening, right? And that's will be their biggest concern. Yeah, they want to make a big effort. I think a little bit harsh. I think it was longer than 20 minutes. I know the goals will tell you that. I think that actually
playing Latvia away is a bigger game than playing Wales at home.
Of course it is.
It's a World Cup qualifier.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
we buried them in the first 20 minutes and then took our foot off the gas and just relaxed.
I thought took the foot off. Second half,
I totally agree with that.
I agree with that to a certain extent, but that's just normal, right? You're winning 3-0. You know, some of them players will have their eye on Monday or Tuesday. Sorry, and you know, you got to look at it and think, right, we've done the job. They didn't put up a fight really, Wales, in the first half, but they come out second half and were better. Still created chances.
We changed it, didn't we? Like, I'm not being funny. Anthony Gordon through the middle, like that's just, it ain't gonna happen, is it? That's the issue we've got through the middle. When we take Harry Kane out the side, we don't have a centre forward that is really going to cause anyone any trouble, is it? I'm a Villa fan, so you know, like Ollie Watkins, like not a
he's an area.
I like him, but he ain't going to do it on the international stage.
What do you mean? He scored a goal in a semi-final. I don't know whether that's the problem. Well, look, the point you make is...
He ain't going to offer what Harry Kane offers, and we don't have the backup going through as a centre forward.
No, we don't, and that.
Dan, you don't seem very happy considering we won 3-0 against Wales.
Mate, I'm over the moon we beat them. Don't get me wrong. I'm over the moon we stuffed them lot in the first 20 minutes and sent them back in. I'm over the moon, but all I'm saying is I just don't think like putting Gordon like the second half, like you said, like Gordon through the middle, it don't work. Like we need to find other options outside of Kane, but we don't have them. And then like wingers and that, like. I think we're stacked with the wingers perfectly.
Yeah. All right, Dan. All right, I appreciate your call.
It is a bit of a concern. I asked you when I saw Gordon go down the middle.
Yeah, no. Don't worry.
You know, what's happening with Dominic Solanke? What's his situation?
Really
he haven't seen him a lot. And when you get outside of Kane and Watkins, who is there? I mean...
Well, Ivan Toney.
Well, Toney. Solanke. I mean, unless I'm missing... There's not...
Danny Welbeck.
Danny Welbeck. I mean, look, he keeps popping up with goals. I don't think he's going to be on Tuchel's radar. But there's not the choice, is there? And to be honest,
I know, but who's going to? How many generational strikers like Harry Kane are there?
No, but you expect someone else to come in, like so. For example, right, Delap might be one of those players as a brilliant second half of the season when he gets back from injury, might force himself into thinking. But other than that, who is there?
Well, I like Watkins. I thought he'd done all right.
No, fine. But once those two tonight, we saw it. Kane was injured. Watkins came off at half time. And all of a sudden, he's right. We got Gordon playing down there. So I've seen Gordon do it for Newcastle. He's a body and he can press.
He's got legs and he can press, but he's not.
He ain't a natural number 9.
No, he's not a striker. He's not a striker. I hear you. Let's go to Philip. He's a Wales fan. All right, Philip.
All right, Phil.
Hello. How are you?
All right, Phil.
Philip.
What happened, bud?
Did you watch the game? Go to the game?
I watched the game on the TV. It was just a whitewash, wasn't it? Really, to be honest.
Yeah.
In the first half, as soon as that first goal went in, I just knew it was done. Really, without the first 3 minutes, and no, it was a whitewash. But honestly, I don't understand why we even had a game like that against England when we got a bigger game coming up against Belgium.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
We need to win.
I do get. I get that. You got a massive game coming up. And that's a tough game for you. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you get beat and you're done after half hour. I guarantee all them players were looking at it thinking, look, all right, we're playing England. It's a big game, but we've got bigger fish to fry.
Yep, totally.
Oh yeah, definitely. If we can manage to get a draw against Belgium and then obviously move on to like Liechtenstein and North Macedonia, get a win there, when we got a good chance of even getting playoffs. So if we get playoffs, I'll be happy with that personally. But
got a good old spanking though, didn't you, Philip?
Oh, no, I'm not even going to put aside it. We did get spanked tonight. But the fans in that stadium, I was watching them, they were amazing. They kept going all night, and I can't put it past them for that. Any other crowd probably would have gone quiet, but they kept going. So
I know, but it's like when you go to like a really bad party and it's a bit the DJ's rubbish. And you go, and you're with the lads, and you come out for a night out, and you're like,
what do you end up doing?
You end up just, let's just have our own party. This is rubbish. We're not, it's miles off it, but let's just enjoy ourselves anyway, lads.
You end up going. I know exactly where you bet lads go.
Yeah,
I know exactly what. We're
dipping off.
Yeah, of course you are.
Yeah, a bit stringies.
Hemorrhaging money.
Whooping. All right, Philip. Listen, thanks for the call. Let's go to Jamie. He's a West Brom fan. All right, Jamie.
All right, Jay.
How you doing, fellas?
I'm all right, James. Happy?
On the way back on the M40 on the way back. Took my daughter to her first England game at Wembley tonight, so she's well happy with the result.
Yeah, nice. Thomas Tuchel was digging out the fans at the stadium. You agree with that?
Yeah, compared to the Wales fans, I thought we were quite quiet, to be fair. But again, like you just said, I think they was making their own entertainment up because there was nothing on the pitch that could inspire them. I just think Declan Rice and Anderson are shoo-ins for the World Cup start. They'd start 11 for me.
Yeah.
I'd even have Rice as captain. I think he's unbelievable in that centre midfield.
He was superb tonight.
He was
unbelievable. He just controls the whole game, and he's like a Rolls Royce. He's unbelievable.
You know, what about Kane then? Because Kane's captain, right? Kane starts, doesn't he?
He does, but how long's Kane going to last for? I can see
the future captain. I see Rice. Yeah,
future captain.
Yeah.
I just think Bellingham and Foden are going to struggle to get back in. I think Eze is probably in front of them too. To be honest, on form, I think he's probably better than them too.
I'm going to be honest. Second half, I was a bit disappointed. At midfield was Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Jordan Henderson.
I know. I mean, they've got 80 years between them or something like that.
And I was looking at it, I'm like, really? Do you know, like, is that really where we're going? Is that where we're at? You got Anthony Gordon playing down the middle. You got Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Henderson as midfield two. I was like, don't tell me, Adam Wharton can't come on in a game like that, or something, really, and make it 4-5 and really dictate the game. Look, Henderson, to be fair to him, he done all right, and I get it. But it just feels a bit weird seeing that as a midfield two.
2017, isn't it? 2016.
Henderson's obviously in the changing room. He's like a leader and all that.
Yeah, and I get it because I like him and he's a leader. But it just feels strange having Ruben Loftus-Cheek alongside him.
Yeah. When was the last time he played?
He's only played 3 games this season.
But listen, Tuchel, I think we've just got to trust him, mate. I think you've got to trust him with what he's doing at the moment. Decisions that he's making.
The future is bright, but we've said this before. How many times before we've said it? In 1990.
Well, let me tell you, Elliot Anderson, James,
unbelievable.
I did not realise. I didn't realise how good he was. Do you know, like people talk about him. Newcastle fans said he's a brilliant young player. They let him go, and maybe they didn't want to, but he went to Nottingham Forest and watched him last season, and he was tough and he was good on the ball and he had energy. And Cundy made a really good point. He's come and played for England, and he probably doesn't know how good he is until he's out there. And then he's gone out there and he's like, I am good enough. He knows it. And now all of a sudden you can see it in him.
He's comfortable.
Everything's simple for him. He just does the simple work. He don't run about like an headless chicken. He just does the 5-10 yard passes and
everyone is looking to go forward.
Yeah.
Every time, can I hurt? How can I hurt you? What's the way? And if it's not on, he'll keep it.
Yeah.
But he looks to hurt you every single time.
Ball, he's retaining. And it's one thing, like, I've been a midfielder, and it was one thing I always, went drummed into me from a young age. Anticipate where the ball's going to land. Second balls, right? People go on it, and I don't care what era you play in. If you control midfield and you win second balls, most of the time you're going to win games. Elliot Anderson is in his anticipation of where the ball's going to land from a header, from a corner that comes out, or a clearance. He was there. He was on it. He was sharper than everyone else.
That's not coincidence.
That's not coincidence. That is a trait. That's a talent. Your brain is thinking sharper than everyone else.
Are Forest going to be able to keep him?
I don't see how, whether they stay up or not. I think there will be an offer that comes in, because if that continues, and we all saw him last season. He was excellent last season. But you're right, Jay. Now there's a step up, and that competition in there is absolutely no way anyone, if you went back 6 months ago and said, we're going to be going away and in the final game in Latvia, one of the final games to qualify for the World Cup, right? We're going to go away, and Rodgers and Anderson could be a midfield two alongside Rice. No one would have gone, yeah, that's going to happen. No one would have said that. No. You're going straight to Bellingham. You're going straight to Foden.
Yeah.
You're going for those other players.
Palmer, yeah.
6 months ago. Now that's what...
I think Elliot Anderson starts in the World Cup.
He carries on like that, mate.
Because he's allowed...
He's going to be tough to leave out.
We wanted Kobe Manu to be that player, right? That's what everyone was talking about after the Euros, and he was that player, and he was, he'd done well. He hasn't materialised, hasn't got better for him being at Man United. Elliot Anderson for me is the
And
player.
also, do you know what? He's a lovely size, the boy, and he's an athletic lad.
Yeah.
Gets about.
Yeah.
You know, he's
I like
not
him a lot.
he's not intimidated in there.
Yeah, I really.
Listen, there's again, we mentioned Adam Wharton in there. He's yet to feature. Is he yet to be in Tuchel's squad?
Not. I think he maybe has. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. That might have been under the other gaffer. But all right, keep your calls coming in. Loads to go through. Scottish fans as well. You won tonight. Huge result against Greece. You won 3-1. 03 717 22 3344.
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. Download the app or visit TalkSportBet.com for all the latest odds and offers. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Smog's big savings event is still on. Enjoy huge savings on kitchens, appliances, worktops, joinery, flooring and more. Like the 8-unit Rigid Richmond kitchen for only £680. Or the 8-unit Flat Pack Essence kitchen for just £464. And that's not all. We've also got great offers across appliances too. Head down to your nearest branch or visit benchmarkskitchens.co.uk. But hurry, our biggest savings event must end on the 31st of October. All prices exclude VAT at 20%. Terms apply.
Have you seen the all-new iPhone 17 Pro? Designed from the inside out, it's the most powerful iPhone yet, with the ultimate Pro camera system. What's more, at Vodafone, you can get the new iPhone now and every year with Vodafone Exchange. Go online or in-store today. Vodafone.
Credit check and terms apply. Trade in iPhone 17 series in good condition 12 months before phone plan ends and upgrade. Every year based on 24-month plan. See vodafone.co.uk/exchange.
It's back. England versus Australia in the ABK Rugby League Ashes. Bone-crunching tackles, lightning-fast tries. The fiercest rivalry in world sport reignites. Everton, sold out. Headingley, sold out. Your only chance is Wembley Stadium, Saturday 25th October. Be there when the Ashes return. Search Rugby League Ashes for tickets. England, Australia. Rivalry reignited. Adult tickets from £20. £2 booking fee applies.
The satisfaction of a perfectly installed soft close drawer. The joy of your first hot shower since the boiler was fixed. And that's the sound of another glowing customer review, because Checkatrade approved tradespeople score on average 9 out of 10. From plumbing to roofing to electrics, download the app. Checkatrade, a job done right.
Checkatrade.com.
9 out of 10 customer rating based on average reviews in 2024.
So, John, you think Argos is just good for toys?
Well, no,
Trevor, show him what he's missing.
This sleek Bose Soundlink Bluetooth speaker. Brilliant bass, eh, John?
No, there is more to Argos.
Get the latest tech and more on the Argos app today. Subject to availability in selected stores and argos.co.uk.
Emotional design, driving excellence, Japanese craftsmanship. Discover what makes Mazda so special during our used car event with a competitive finance rate of 5.9% APR representative on Mazda used PCP, running exclusively from the 10th to the 20th of October. Search Mazda used cars. Participating dealers subject to status to over 18s. Indemnities may be required. Terms apply. Mazda Financial Services. See website.
Catch something big at your local Admiral Slots Casino, because Bigger Bass Bonanza can now be played on the high street. Take a spin and reel in some big wins with free game bonuses and jackpots of up to £500. Upgrade your gaming experience today at Admiral and play all your favourite games the way they're meant to be played at any of our 280 venues nationwide. If you're ready to play, spin safe at Admiral, where our friendly team are on hand to help you play responsibly and stay within your limits. Over 18s only. Please gamble responsibly.
Fancy a top Tuesday night of live football on the wireless? Well, I'll sort you out with a tasty 2026 World Cup qualifier on TalkSport. It's only bleeding Latvia versus England live from Riga, with kick-off at 7:45. 7:45, so don't be late. It's a totally tremendous Tuesday night of live football on TalkSport. Hang on a minute, lads. I've got a great idea. Let's listen to the football on TalkSport.
You are listening to the Sports Bar on TalkSport. Me, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Still to come. Going to hear from Scotland fans. Massive win for them tonight. 03 717 22 3344. But now England spank Wales 3-0 at Wembley tonight. Live on TalkSport. Here's Faye Carruthers catching up with Bukayo Saka.
One of the best team performances I've been a part of in an England shirt. The first 35 minutes, I'd say, we were like a pest. We were almost unstoppable at times, and the way we're moving the ball, we counter press, win it back. it felt like, you know, every time we had the ball we could score. And yeah, I felt it was a very, very good team performance, one that we can be proud of and continue to build on.
And how exciting is it to be part of that? Bearing in mind, obviously, you've been so hampered by injuries. This is actually only the second game that you've had under Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, I know. I've missed a lot of games under Thomas Tuchel, so you know, at the start of the season, I was itching to get back in the England shirt and build some momentum and get some games under him. And obviously, I missed last camp, which I was gutted about. So it made this camp feel even more special for me. You know, coming back and obviously playing at Wembley, which I haven't done in a while, and scoring a goal for England as well, which I haven't done in a while either. So yeah, a really nice evening.
Yeah, Bukayo Saka scored an amazing goal tonight. Fantastic strike, and fair play to him. He's coming back from injury, looking good. Let's go to Chris. He's a Blackburn fan, all right, Chris?
All right, Chris.
Hi, mate, you all right?
Yeah, good, Chrissy, good. Happy with the game, the result, the players?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I mean, it's a good result. It's always good beating Wales, isn't it? But I just wanted, obviously, on the chat with Adam Wharton, I'm a Blackburn fan. So I've seen him from when he broke into the Blackburn team to now. I play a bit of footy myself. I'm in a few group chats, and I called it 2 years ago, before all the Premier League clubs came in for him, and said that lad's going to be England's next best thing. He's the closest thing we've got to a Xavi and Iniesta kind of player, and I just don't know how Thomas Tuchel's not picking him. What's he got to do?
I don't know what he's got.
I mean, I hear you loud and clear. By the way, there's competition in there. There are players that aren't even in there that are seasoned pros at international level. You know, we're talking about Bellingham. I mean, players that aren't in this squad. There's that in that middle of the park now. That's an area where it may be not that deep line midfielder that Wharton can control the tempo of the game. Maybe that's not necessarily it, but nevertheless, that
I think Adam Wharton
is a ferocious battle in there. I mean,
if you have a look at him, though, he's in. I don't want to say an average Palace team, but he's in a Palace team that lost Eze. Obviously, Elise's not there. They're not full of stars, are they? And every week you read Twitter and social media, and everyone bangs on about him, how he's been the best player on the pitch. Grealish came out and said it when he got man of the match. He was like, Adam Wharton should have this. I've only got it because I've scored the winner. He's just ridiculous how he's not in the squad.
No, I agree. I agree with you, Chris. Look, there's time, but I think he's running out of time.
Against Elliot Anderson, but I just think in tournament football, when you go 1-0 up, if there's someone, if you look at Adam Wharton, he doesn't run. He doesn't have to run.
Maybe that works against him then. I mean, if you look at the midfield, right, they're all big lads. Do you know what I mean? They're all big, physically strong. You've got Rice in there. You got Elliot Anderson there, Morgan Rogers,
Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Maybe he's looking at something a little different. Maybe he's looking at the physicality.
But don't you need a player like Wharton then if you've got them players, right? Look,
it's not Anderson. It's not giving the ball.
I really get Henderson. I do. As much as there's an outcry for why he's in there, but I do get it in terms of his leadership qualities and he knows how to be on tour with England because he's been there a lot. The Ruben Loftus-Cheek one for me, I don't get. I don't get it.
I've not watched what he's done over in Serie A last season, right? So I don't watch enough of that. I saw him play pre-season Chelsea, but I've not seen enough of him. But I think we've got to trust Tuchel. Now, he's right. I mean, there's a lot of people listening to this. We're saying Adam Wharton can feel terribly unlucky that he's not in the squad. But not everyone can be in there. There's going to be some big names, but if everyone is fit, there's going to be some big names in that middle of the park that don't make it.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. I do think it's harsh on him, though, because he has been brilliant for Palace. But Elliot Anderson is playing so well that position.
He has emerged, Elliot Anderson, in pretty much under Thomas Tuchel, right? Yeah. He's emerged.
Yeah.
It's another body that, 12 months ago, we would not have put him in the England squad, but well played him.
All right, Chris, thanks for your call. Let's go to Alan. All right, Al?
All right, Al.
Hiya.
All right, Al. He's a happy Al.
Yeah, I'm Alan.
You sound jolly Al.
I'm Alan Richardson from London, Camden Town. Yeah,
Jolly
I stayed and listened to the football match.
Yeah,
and I'm very pleased with it. Saka scored a good goal, the best goal at Wembley, I think.
That's a big statement, that.
Yeah,
I mean, some weldy goals at Wembley.
Yeah, it's a good goal. Very good.
I'm
goal.
a Chelsea fan, and I just want to say hi to a town called Northampton, and.
Why Northampton?
I go to a group there. We'll be going back to a group there soon, and
used to live in Nottingham, but, you know,
So you phoned up to say hello to Northampton?
And say hi to England team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hope England qualify now. I think they can. And
what do you think about Adam Wharton, Al?
Yeah, good player. Yeah.
Should he be in the squad?
He may be in the future. Yeah.
Good answer.
What about Bellingham? What about Bellingham, Al? Do you think he...
I hope Bellingham comes back. Yeah.
Okay.
What about Ollie Watkins?
Ollie Watkins did well to score a goal tonight. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you know, Al, it's making talking a lot of sense there.
It's talking a lot of sense, yeah.
Anyone else you want to say hello to, Al, before we let you go?
Yeah, hiya.